This week's going to be a real motherfucker as we discuss the 1993 horror crime drama, Bad Boy Bubby. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bloody Bits Horror Show. I am your host, Eddie, the Axe Jefferson, and joining me, as always, is the guy that was most disturbed by the pizza, Tim Yobo. How are you doing today, sir?
Actually, you know what? That pizza kind of looked pretty good.
Looked all right, didn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Looked like it was nice and crispy, like maybe like on the cold side, but still not soggy, right?
Yeah, real easy eating pizza.
But then
That's
I remember
for
where
sure.
it was being made. I was like, they don't know how to make fucking pizza down there.
And joining us, as always, Tim, is the lady signing up for the Salvation Army. It's Candice.
I was wondering which of these stellar female performers in this movie I was going to be shoehorned in
You
with.
might have gotten the best one, Candice.
At least it wasn't like
Yeah.
angel tits.
No, it was between that and the Lady Bubby rejected. So we are joined today for week 3 of Swaptober by longtime friend of the show, Freddie Fanatic, and occasional host of the Grindbin, Bobby Trippett. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing excellent. The film I just watched, I could not be in a better mood.
Let's see if he's
So
still
glad.
friend of the show when we're done.
Yeah, friend's a strong word, everybody.
Acquaintance, yes. FBI, I kind of know these people.
Tonight we're
Hey.
co-workers.
Hey, you know what, Bobby? We're even for wild beasts.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I
Took a while for that to come back
This
around.
is like a double dose of getting them back, right? Didn't we get them back with that for some other movie that we did with them?
You're making sure I don't try that shit again.
I don't think we did, Tim. I think we brought him back for some good stuff. So, we're at week 3 of Swaptober. This week's pick was brought to you by Asherz. Big time.
Not friend of the show, enemy of the show, trying to sabotage our show. You know, Asher, we're not in the same fucking category. We're not competing on Good Pods or iTunes, okay? You don't have to fucking get us arrested.
Yeah, let's rank all of her picks.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out. I feel like
No.
Cannibal Holocaust was probably
Okay.
the best.
Yeah, you got
Then,
Cannibal
Yeah.
Holocaust. Yeah.
then
Because it's an
Necromantic.
animal that I don't have.
Then,
Oh, yeah, Necromantic. Yeah.
Then Necromantic. Yeah, lest we
Okay.
forget. And
Yep.
then I Spit on Your Grave because that was a movie where I was like drinking and cussing and angry by the end of it.
That's true.
And then this one is the very bottom because this
wow.
one made me never want to have sex again ever, and that's a
Wow.
fucking crime.
Really?
Wow.
Your
Yeah.
husband must be happy.
Yeah, your husband's like, holy shit, why didn't I buy this on Criterion
Oh,
3
thank
years ago?
God.
Criterion, Tim.
This is my penance for having too good of a time with Crimson Peak. This
That might be it,
This
yeah.
is the bad
Oh,
incest.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That was-
you got to be careful about the good or bad incest people say.
This is the bedroom door bashing open just the wrong moment. Spills the movie.
yeah, make sure your son doesn't watch this.
Fuck no. I already knew, just based on who picked this movie. I was like, this is a close the bedroom door, no one come
Yeah.
in here.
Oh, you were enjoying it that much.
Take off your pants.
All
She's
right.
got some candles
Oh.
going, some Yankee candles that she can't smell.
Well, happy Mother's Day to you.
So,
Spit into my hand.
All
so
right.
Asher's, thank you.
Yeah.
From
Yes,
the bottom of
Asherz,
my
thank you for making me
Thanks.
watch this.
But before
More
we
disturbing
cover
than anything that's been on a show.
That's true. That's very true. But before we cover it, we should do our favorite segment. What have you been consuming, Candice?
I don't like the tone you used when you said that. I don't appreciate it.
Fair.
I man, I have so much to talk about. One, Vampire Survivors is out officially, so all the updates are finally in there. So I was
nice.
dabbling in that today, and I had to stop because I had to watch this movie. Thanks.
I had to stop playing hockey when I was on a winning streak to watch this fucking movie.
And then I'm like, 3 episodes into the Lord of the Rings show. It's been good. I finished She-Hulk, the season finale. Fucking phenomenal.
How great was that season finale, huh?
Oh, I laughed so hard. I didn't think anything was gonna top either the twerking, like, because that was really funny. When she's like, I would kill for you. Like, or when she picked the guy up like he was a baby, carried him to the bedroom to have sex with him. That was really funny.
They better make a season 2 of this fucking show.
The ending, the season finale to She-Hulk was fire. It's absolutely amazing.
Yep.
And then I started watching The Midnight Club, which is about a group of kids who are dying. So, you know.
Oh, that sounds
how is it? I have it on my list.
It's been good so far. It's based on the YA novel from not Nicholas Pike, Christopher Pike. From Bobby, I mentioned
Star Trek Enterprise.
I mentioned this. It takes place in 1994, and I mentioned this on Twitter to you, Bobby.
Oh yeah.
So
yes,
1994, for some reason, I guess was a magical year because that's when the Fear Street movies took place. When
it's also the year that White Slimer took me to California.
Yes, it was a magical year for you. It's also the year that Yellow Jackets takes place in 1994. And then, this, and then there was like one other thing that takes place in 1994, very specifically 1994. It's like, so this 90s nostalgia that's overtaking us, which I am very okay with. It's 1994 specifically, and I want to know what it is about that year that makes it so fucking special.
Like, what is it? Why not 95?
Yeah, why not 93?
Why is it all 94?
Yeah, it's weird.
Bad Boy Bubby.
VHS 95, VHS 94. 94 sounds better.
There we go. But VHS 94, that's the other one I couldn't think of.
Well, Bad Boy Bubby came out in 93.
Oh,
see, that's what happened. Everyone went, nope, gotta jump to 94.
No, let's just, history needs to forget that year.
Oh, come on.
It's like the
Thanks
13th
a lot,
floor.
Australia, whatever the fuck country this came from.
Thanks a lot, Australia.
Thanks, Australia.
Tim, blaming a whole country for it. Wow. All right, Tim, what have you been
It's
consuming?
funded by the fucking government, right?
I
So
know,
they
I
pay
know.
for it.
So, Tim, what have you been consuming, my friend?
I also finished watching The She-Hulk, and I agree with Candice. It's one of the top 3 Marvel shows of all time. It was so fucking good.
It was.
I wasn't really expecting to like it at all, and I watched it because I wanted to see Daredevil. And he didn't show up until like almost the last like 2 episodes, and I wasn't disappointed with like, I had to watch fucking 5 episodes of the show before to get to Daredevil. And he's so good in it, and I'm just happy that Daredevil is back. And I think that without spoiling it, like Candice said, it nails that ending that could have really just fucking landed flat like some movies, I can say.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know how everybody's like, Marvel just makes the same shit over and over again. Yeah, you should watch She-Hulk, because it's completely...
No, I don't like that, because I want the same thing that Marvel makes, the shit that they complain about being the same thing over and over again. When they do something different, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Shut the fuck up, people. Hate you. Also, speaking of hating people,
oh, God.
So people who are like, oh my god, fucking DC superhero movies are the worst things I've ever seen. Batman vs. Superman is the worst movie I've ever seen. I wish I lived that charmed of a fucking life, because show them Bad Boy Bubby and then tell me that Batman vs. Superman is the worst movie you have ever seen.
Can I just say, Candice, I love this
Well, if you're
arc
expecting
for
to go
you.
see a comic book movie, maybe that could be the qualifier for it, right?
I'm just going to say, I love this arc for Candice, where now she's just like, I've fucking been through the shit. You don't fucking tell me.
I got like scar on my face.
She's got the 1,000-yard stare while she's watching the movie.
Wearing a hat that says veteran on it.
Don't tell me. I've been in the shit. Don't tell me.
Yeah,
that
listen, son.
Jurassic World Dominion is the worst movie. Or that Halloween Ends is the worst movie you've ever seen. You ain't seen shit.
Motherfucker, I joined this podcast during Bolvember.
Yeah, it's very true.
Eat me.
You got fucking baptized in fire.
That's
Candice.
true.
Candice, yeah, you've earned your stripes for damn sure. So, Bobby, my friend, what, if anything, have you been consuming this week or just recently?
Recently, I was fortunate enough to drop in for a couple nights at Beyond Fest in Los Angeles. It's the 10th anniversary of that film festival. It's a genre film festival that happens every year in LA.
Fancy motherfucker.
And, I am a fancy motherfucker. And I've been there since the start, so I was glad I got to jump back in there. But the two things I got to catch while I was there was, one, I caught the West Coast premiere of the new Hellraiser.
Oh.
And, man, seeing it theatrically, I'm pretty sure is a very different experience than watching it on Hulu.
Yeah, and apparently you were sitting in front of Elric Kane and Rebecca McKendry.
I was, and it's wild. Podcasters that I've listened to for hours and hours of my life, hearing them talk to each other right behind me as I'm waiting for the lights to go down is like having somebody leave a podcast running.
That's got to be bizarre.
Yeah, it really was, but fun. I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. It's a very big tonal change from the previous Hellraiser movies. Mm-hmm. It honestly, to me, felt like 13 Ghosts.
Oh, interesting.
From 2001. It feels very much like a 2000s teen slasher, but I still think it cleaned up the lore in a really satisfying way. I think that makes it more accessible to move forward.
It. I wouldn't say it's a great movie, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at too. I thought it was a very enjoyable experience. Great thing happened at this screening though. And they had promised that after the movie, director David Bruckner was going to come out and do a Q&A. They often do that at Beyond Fest screenings. But then they set up 10 chairs. And so we didn't just get director David Bruckner, but we got the entire principal cast, 4 Cenobites, 3 humans, and then out came Clive Barker.
God damn.
And so I've never been so happy that I got like a really close seat. I was like, I'm a little too close to the screen for the film, but then once the Q&A happened, I'm like, well, shit, I'm like 10 feet away. You're like
trying to reach out your hand and surreptitiously touch his pant leg,
so
you be
absolutely.
Blessed.
And he barely has a voice anymore. He's getting pretty up there in age, and he's had issues. But he's still so everyone got pin drop silent to hear him speak, and but he's still charming and funny as ever, and had a lot of great things to say. I didn't realize he had a huge part in putting this new one together.
That's awesome.
Have you not
that he would frequently call up Bruckner in the middle of the night and be like, "Do you have the Hellbound Heart next to your bed right now?" And they'd both pull the books out and like go over passages and whatnot and discuss what changes he think would be a good idea to update it to now. And I'm like, man, this was really hands-on with the original creator, and I don't think they have used that as a selling point enough.
No, right? You would think that, Clive Barker's back.
Yeah, his original vision.
Would be a big selling point,
Like, he is part of the vision of updating all of this.
But it's Hulu, so what the fuck does Hulu know about fucking promoting something, right?
Right.
Fair.
But that was a lot of fun, and then I came back the following night and saw the U.S. premiere of Shin Ultraman.
And you were like, now this is entertainment.
Now, speaking of polarizing movies, Shin Godzilla was one of the most polarizing of those movies. You either loved it or you hated it. It seems to be.
Were people going Shin dies tonight?
Yeah, Shin dies tonight. But Toho, the Japanese company that handles all the Godzilla stuff, is making a shared universe out of these movies. And so they announced that they're doing, that they're in the same universe. They're going to have Ultraman now show up in a movie. And the thing that I think kind of rubs people the wrong way with these is that they're not big, like, they're of course big dumb kaiju movies where shit's getting smashed, but these are played as satire. They're comedies. They're making fun of themselves, and they're making fun of the Japanese government.
Well, that just sounds fun.
It absolutely was. Like, I had a blast watching that. I was laughing so hard in the theater
but
watching
not
this.
If you're a fanboy, it doesn't sound fun.
Right.
Like kaiju, right?
You know how that goes. Like, when I went and saw Shin Godzilla in 2016, they did like a limited theatrical engagement here. As the lights came back up, as the credits were rolling, a dude in the front row stood up and started booing.
Like,
and then someone from the back of the theater yelled, "Shut the fuck up!" And he sat back down.
Like, shit, Godzilla.
Yeah, and then he waited for someone to go, "Yeah," but it never came.
Oh.
But so that was a blast. And then outside of that, I've been consuming a lot of alcohol because I went to a bachelor party weekend at a mansion in Central California.
I didn't know we can include alcohol with what you've been consuming. Shit, hold on.
Tim's like, so let's see, what caliber was I smoking? Here, let's see.
Caliber.
I don't fucking know.
Actually, I'm trying to get a medical license to buy
the
fucking dispensaries are like $200 an ounce.
Jesus Christ! Buy a bag of gummies like the rest of us.
Yeah.
But what was fun about that, though, was, as always is the nature of these bachelor party things, these aren't a group of friends coming together. These are all people from different parts of the groom's life. And so it was great being at a mansion where, like, this guy ended up in, like, the finance industry. That's where his life took him. I'm a friend from the old days. And so you pull up to the mansion.
You're like, I remember when he got so...
Tesla, Beamer, 2011 Ford Focus.
You're like, I remember when this guy got so drunk he shit his pants. You guys remember that?
Yeah. I got to be that guy. And then I hijacked the big TV, and that's the reason I brought this up. I hijacked the big TV in the main living room, the big, like, 80-inch son of a bitch over the fireplace, and I was able to get YouTube working, so I started pulling up, like, old horror movies and, like, Santo films, and all these mortgage loan modifier guys are like, what the shit is this?
Oh, that's great.
And so I think I brought some people into the fold of the kind of shit that people like us like.
Awesome.
What was the movie that you used to go to and put on at parties, and, like, everybody would just let you, like, clear the room?
Oh god, I did that with Dead Alive.
Yes, Dead Alive.
At a Halloween party, and everyone was like, yeah, he's not coming back next year. All right.
I put on Death Clock at a party and cleared out a bunch of people.
Yeah? People couldn't hang with Metalocalypse?
Nope, they could not.
Man.
Jeez. You know what you could do? You could put Bad Boy Bubby on any time of the year and clear out an entire building.
Man, I wish I'd known about Bad Boy Bubby prior to going on that trip, because I could have stayed that place by myself.
Yeah, they would have moved out. You would have had
like, I gotta hit the road, guys. I'll see you later. Good luck with your marriage.
We're taking our cat and we're leaving.
Oh, the poor cat.
You need to wrap it up first, or?
I'll take this one to go. So, I tried to consume Clerks 3.
Tried to
Why?
consume it.
I don't know.
You're sick.
Why not?
Because you're a sick man.
I am a sick man. That's fair. Yeah, I got about
Did that even get a theatrical release? Or was it like straight to fucking book?
He did like the road show thing where like he was taking it around to limited engagement, one night only situations at art house theaters around the country.
I bet he was doing the Q&A before.
That's a good idea.
Instead of after,
and then
right?
and then getting the hell out of there before the lights came back on.
Yeah, he's just out. Either comedy has gotten harder to write, or he has gotten way worse at it. That's all I'm gonna say. Because
I think with comedy, you have a certain amount of time that you're funny, and then after that, you just
when
can't
you're
keep
old,
it,
you're not
right?
funny anymore. When you lost all that weight because of a health scare, you're not funny anymore.
No, I think there is a such thing as too much weed.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Bobby.
You think all your ideas are great, and they're just not. You need a friend to check you.
Too much weed and too much success. You gotta be a little humble. Yeah, I think that could be it. But yeah,
because there's a definite line in the quality of his work when he became a stoner, and shit, I'm one too. But like, I think he took it a little far. Like, he got a little excited. It was like when I first started drinking in my early 20s. It's like you need to learn how to pace yourself, man, because you're making a mess.
Exactly. Yeah, I think like the last thing of his that I really liked was Dogma, and then after that, it kind of went downhill.
Red State was okay.
Yeah, Red State not a comedy.
Yeah, I thought he was going to make that transition, where a comedian starts.
I kept waiting for it to get funny. I was like, "What?"
You just start laughing at a reflex. Oh, John Goodman's always funny.
Her legs
I did that during 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's putting that guy in a barrel. Oh, John.
America's father.
Oh, man. Yeah. So, I'd ask anybody in here what their history is with Bad Boy Bubby, but I guarantee it's nothing.
I take the fifth.
You take Tim. You've seen it before, Tim?
No, but I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout this movie.
Okay. That means you need to go drink a fifth, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So, yeah, it was definitely a first-time watch for me as well. So, okay, let's go over who watched it the most.
How does she find these movies?
I don't know.
I've like to consider myself kind of down with the more underground scene, but fuck if I've ever heard of this movie.
And it's your fucking white.
Yeah, no shit. I feel like fucking wholesome.
I felt the same way. I also consider myself down with the clown or whatever Candice just said. But When Eddie told me what we were covering, I was like, shit, I've never heard of this. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And if only you knew, Bobby, if only you knew. So to describe it, like, before we get into it, I was trying to come up with what I could combine to make this movie.
Okay.
And so I thought, like, okay, what if Norman Bates' mother raised Forrest Gump, right? And then he became like the king of New Wave.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty accurate.
Kind of what we have going on here. Oh my God. So would you suggest people watch it before we talk about it? I guess
No.
What about you, Bobby? Would you suggest people watch it before we spoil it?
Oh, absolutely. Go in blind. Gather up all your movie loving friends and maybe your mother. Watch it with your parents.
If you have a friend who like only watches I don't know, fucking every Fast 5 movie that comes out, and they said that Fast and Furious 6 was the worst movie they've ever seen in their life, fucking make them watch this movie. There you go. That'll shut them up.
Well, Candice, this movie is about family.
Oh, man. If only Vin Diesel would have popped up in the window.
I'm going to take
I'm popped now.
I'm going to take a little bit of umbrage here. I will say that this is a very competent movie.
Yes, it is. It's surprisingly competently made. Yes, no argument here.
Yep.
And it does something.
I only have one problem with the movie.
What's that?
Oh, just the cat shit.
Oh, surely, yeah, of course. I think it does something that a lot of movies can't do, and that's make me resent myself for the times I laughed.
Yeah. Yeah, you do get those laughs out of it.
Because you laugh and then you catch your reflection in the window for a second and go, ah, shit.
Yeah.
You watch this next to a window so people can actually see what you were
I was at a Starbucks, and so, I was using their Wi-Fi.
Watch on your iPad?
They had a TV in there, and I just kind of cast it on.
Oh my
there.
God! Could you imagine? You were at the gym, you just turned it on.
Just get your phone hooked up to it.
Take this to Best Buy and put it on all the big screen TV.
Hell yeah,
that'd be great. Okay, we'll get into it. So, Bad Boy Bubby, 1993, written and directed by Rolf de Heer, who was originally what was he, Dutch, I believe? And then he moved to Australia and got this made using the Australian funding for the arts, one of those credits.
You know what? This actually, that makes a lot of sense, because I was getting a lot of Repulsion vibes off of this.
Yeah, same.
Or was it Repulsion, or the fucking movie that Terry had us watch? The one that was Austrian?
Yeah, no. That wasn't Repulsion. I know which one you're talking about. God damn it.
Look through your Google notes. I'm sure it's
too many movies.
Yeah, we've watched too many movies.
Yeah, I'm sure. We've watched too many movies.
But
I'm done.
you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yes.
With the slow bro.
It definitely... Yeah. It definitely had those kinds of vibes. So starring Nicholas Hope as the titular Bubby, he went on to have a little bit of a career. He ended up playing Old Man Smithers in the Scooby-Doo live-action movie.
Really? I thought he was the fucking elf from Lord of the Rings.
No, that's not Hugo Weaving. The fucker. No.
It looked like it to me.
Fuck you. Don't ever.
Come on.
Do not
look
ever
at the guy.
say that again.
Uh-oh.
He became the Red
Somebody
Skull.
got to think for Hugo, huh?
Oh my God.
Yep, you just heard
No,
somebody's
Lee
feelings.
from Twitter. I can't remember the name of his podcast, but Lee said that he looked like what was it, Nick Cave, if he couldn't get the hair plugs.
Yeah.
Now I can't unsee it.
Yep.
Now I'm just picturing Agent Smith from The Matrix, but he just says all the Bobby lines.
See? He's glitching.
He just pops up in his sunglasses, just like, I'll beat your brains out by
Me
Christ.
be pop, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, me be pop.
He was also in Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid.
All right, the best one.
Seen it.
Yep. And he was in the Ash vs. Evil Dead series.
Man.
Haven't seen
That was
it.
a good series.
It's fun. A lot of fun. Claire Benito is Mom. Really one of her only roles as an actor. Though oddly...
Because she really sold it.
Yeah.
This didn't land her more work.
Well, it did. Bobby, she was in the Anne Ultraman series,
shit.
Ultraman Toward the Future, the TV series.
Oh, that one where Ultraman fucks his mom.
Yeah, yeah.
Ultraman squeezes her huge tits.
This movie really...
You're a good Ultraman. You're a good Ultraman.
This movie really does posit what happened if Marty McFly went back to the past and succeeded.
This is what happens.
No, I'm going to give the movie hats off because I think this is probably all the people who watch that shit on Pornhub. This should be the fucking thing that they wash their mouths out with. Right?
Oh,
this is what you wanted,
is, right?
Tim.
A monkey's
Tim,
paw.
we gotta cut the clips out of this, the sex scenes out of this, Tim, and upload them to Pornhub. With the
I want to combine this movie with The Baby, and it'd be like the Bubby.
Oh God, the Bubby. No,
Bubby doesn't walk.
No.
Bubby doesn't talk.
The Bubby.
Bubby just lets their lazy do cowgirl.
Then we've got Carmel Johnson, who played Angel. She went on to be the teacher in the movie Babadook.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the Bubby Duke.
Angel
the Bubby
tits.
Duke.
All right, Bad Boy Bubba Duke. That'd be great.
Oh, you think that's the this is the sequel to the Babadook because it was just the kid and his mom, right?
I was gonna say, why do you think that kid wouldn't stop screaming?
How are we gonna get away from this fucking monster?
The Bubba
I know.
Duke.
I'll duke your brainless.
The only other real name in this was Grant Piero, who was the salesman. He went on to play Larry in Darkness Falls, and he had a bit part in Crocodile Dundee in L.A.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And
he was just happened to be in LA and we need some Australian dude to fill out the cast.
Yeah. And Bobby, you're going to love this. He was in The Condemned, that Stone Cold Steve Austin take on the most dangerous game, Running Man.
Dude, the thing about me is I will watch any variation on the most dangerous game. I love that cliche.
Oh, me too.
You have many movies to pick from.
Oh, I know. I've seen all that shit, man. And The Menu is coming out next month. And
can't wait for that.
According to the trailer, makes it seem like they all run off into the woods and start doing that shit. And I'm like, yeah.
There's another one that was coming out where the people try to break into these rich British people's house, and then they
what was that called?
They're it's called The Hunted, something like that. I have to look around for that one. That one looked interesting. So yeah, that's about it though for the cast in this one.
You really got to come up with a creative title to get Hunt in with these fucking types of movies without stepping on somebody's copyright.
Yeah, fair. So that's about it for the cast. I've got a couple of little notes of trivia here. There were 32 different DPs on this film because the director wanted there to be a different one for every new place that Bobby went to give the film a more experimental feel. And it was all shot in sequence so that the character of Bobby could very easily mimic previous characters' dialogue as the film progressed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of a Big Lebowski move, right? With his dialogue, he kind of picks up little things from everybody and uses them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Big Lebowski. I definitely got that vibe from this movie.
So I know you guys are shitting all over
the Big Lebowski.
Exactly. So I know you guys are shitting all over it already, but there are a few people that had some 5-star reviews of it on the internet.
This got 100% Rotten Tomatoes.
I know. I told my son what movie I was watching, just the title of it, before I ever watched it.
Oh God!
And he looked up reviews.
Why?
He looked
reviews. It up. Candice looking it up is almost as good as saying the fucking movie.
No, it isn't.
Read the fucking synopsis of it.
I don't think he actually read the synopsis. He just likes to look at reviews. It's like his hobby. Movies he's never seen.
Isaac
he just looks that shit up.
But I gotta hear what people who give it 100% had to say 100%. About it.
5-star. First of all, Bobby, we got Isaac Howard.
Me and my mom loved it.
Oh, gross. Isaac Howard gave it 5 stars. He said, "I may have watched Bad Boy Bubby 3 times in total. Once on mushrooms. Best decision I've ever made in my life."
Check.
Could you imagine doing that?
No.
I want to go. That is the circumstance by which I will rewatch this movie.
Gotcha. Then we've got Les B, who gave it 5 stars. Better than Gone with the Wind. Because that movie really gave me the Bad Boy Bubby blues after 3 hours plus.
Man, I mean, really, it's comparing apples and incest, isn't it?
It really is.
This movie felt longer than Gone with the Wind.
That Les B was his last initial N.
Les B-N. And a guy named Mark gave it 1 star, and he said it was clearly written by an atheist. So,
what? Oh, well.
Yeah. Disturbing, peculiar film. One thing is for certain: it was clearly written by an atheist.
Yep, that's what I got from it. Yep.
Yeah. No people of God have ever touched their family members. I'll tell you that much.
I mean,
no people of God would ever let their family member get on top of them if it's a woman.
That's
what it came down to. It's like
that's what happened to Lilith.
More talk.
See, that's the thing people need to understand. This movie's very feminist.
Oh, yeah. Very, very feminist.
Yeah, that's true.
Mom's in control.
She is. She makes sure she gets hers every single night, right?
Yeah. Candice, you were talking about wanting to see a movie where a man was just tortured through the whole thing. Well, here
that's
you go.
True, yeah. Found it.
This is what you were looking for, where he's raped.
I don't know. He lives a pretty charmed life once he gets out of it.
Yeah, especially in prison.
Well, sort of.
That was probably the highlight.
Him and the animal, Tim. Him and the animal had a great time.
Well, look, you got to take the good with the bad. The winning streak can't go on forever, right?
It's very fair, Tim. So I guess we'll start it out. We open on Bubby, and he's getting a shave from his mother. And she's using...
Shaving, a haircut, and 2 tits.
Yeah, is that a red ink joke that you had there, Tim?
No, I just made that up right now. I was thinking
I was going to say, did Candice slide you that one?
Yeah, you got a shave and a haircut and 2 tits, because then we cut to his mom washing him, and we get to see his dong. There you go, Candice.
Great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hanging dong. Then he gets made a bowl of cereal, which is old bread, sugar, and milk. And I said, Tim, is this what you guys used to eat back in the day?
I was like, I could never be an actor because I could never put that shit in my mouth even for fake.
Well, what about the roach that he eats?
Yeah, oh, Jesus Christ.
By the way, real roach, that actor.
You can tell.
No. Is this like a 12 Monkeys situation? Didn't Brad Pitt?
I got a feeling a lot of things were real in this movie.
What was that?
I was gonna say, is this like a 12 Monkeys thing? Didn't Brad Pitt eat a spider in that movie?
No. Bruce Willis did.
Bruce Willis ate the spider.
Yeah, he was supposed to bring
right.
a sample to the future where he was from.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And like, didn't he legit eat one?
Yes, he did.
Man, the thing I had in my notes about this scene though was pointing out that the mom is making him breakfast topless, and and it struck a chord with me because like this is not a joke. No. My mom used to do that when I was little, and I always was like, "Isn't that dangerous?
You're gonna burn yourself?" Was she like cooking?
I was like worried about my mom's well-being.
So what did your mom do? Just kidding.
Obviously, she never was doing any like deep frying or anything.
Oh no, she'd be like frying eggs and shit. And I was always, as a little kid, I was like,
"Oh my god!" Like cooking bacon without a shirt.
Yeah, I was like, "Isn't that spattering your boobs, Mom?" But and she'd say, "Get back in your cage." And I was like,
"Don't
oh,
you
okay,
move,
sorry.
you fucking cunt!"
Yeah,
don't act like you
I'll
have
beat your brains out.
By Christ.
And then I do love the added little note that whenever she goes out and comes back in, she puts on a gas mask.
That way he's scared to leave.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good move for like gaslighting somebody, you know?
Yeah, this idiot's so stupid he doesn't realize that it's not even connected to anything.
Yes.
What a moron.
Yes, this genie.
Yeah. The guy that for 35 years has not left his house. That idiot. He should have been more aware of the way the world works, right, Tim? What a dummy.
No
then he fucks his mom.
All right.
That's true.
I think she fucks him, right?
Oh, yeah. That happens. Then
that definitely happens.
She sits him down and she's like, "All right, I got to go out now because I just got fucked. So you just sit here and don't move." He's like,
yeah, it's a real secretary.
Yeah, and he's like, bathroom.
This movie's just like Secretary.
You're not wrong.
So he just sits there and pisses himself in the fucking chair.
Same.
Just like Secretary.
So she gets back and he's like, oh, I've been bad. And she's like, God damn it, what, you son of a bitch. Cleans him off, bangs him out again.
Well, now he's clean.
Life of Riley, this guy.
Go on, Eddie. Keep talking.
Right,
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Tim, I heard Tim sigh really hard, so I have to check in. Are you okay up there, buddy?
I'm just like, all right, you know what? We got the idea, people. We got the idea what's going on. We don't need to keep seeing it. Doesn't have to be keep driven home.
Tim, you don't nearly have the idea, because this is when we cut to him dressed like his mom.
I don't want the idea.
Someone
else take the idea.
Yeah, this is for real. Again, say what you want. How it says something about me, but this is the most disturbing part of this fucking movie for me. And this is the part I was like, "Fuck this shit! I don't want to watch this movie."
Was the animal mistreatment?
Yeah, there's no way that thing is fake with camera.
No, that was a real cat. 100%.
Well, they did. I can't speak to this specific instance, but I know I read some of the ways that they went about some of the cat stuff, and it was unique to say the least.
They used a real cat.
Yeah,
they did. They absolutely did. But
yeah, they used
for stuff coming up later. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for that scene. Which we'll get to. Yeah, so he's just got a cat tied to a chair, and he's abusing it in a similar fashion that his mother abused him.
When his mother
don't you fucking move, you cunt.
Yeah, be still. Be still will come
Candice,
up.
can you mute your mic when you talk to your family?
Sorry. They're sitting behind me right now.
Candice, you're not muted right now. I'm sorry. You need to know this.
Candice.
2 of the kids are already pissed the floor.
So then he gets a little idea. He's like, wait a minute. Hey, Mom, why didn't the cat, where did the cat come from? So outside. He goes, huh? Well, why didn't the cat have a gas mask?
Good point, Bubby.
Good point, Bubby. Mm-hmm. She goes, oh, that cat
doesn't
breathe.
Cats don't breathe.
So he's like, what do you mean no breathe? So she's like, here. And she just starts fucking strangling him and smothering him.
Choking him out, yeah.
And she's like that. That's not breathing. He's like, fuck. Okay. So his mom leaves. And he's like, all right, time to do some experiments. Let's see if the cat really doesn't breathe.
Oh, God.
So he gets the plastic wrap.
And then this is the weirdest product placement I've seen in the movie.
Yes.
Now, man, Saran really is stronger.
You don't have a cat that won't say stay still. Use Saran wrap.
Saran wrap. It's the cat's meow.
Think what it can do to your sandwich.
If you're not done with the pussy you've been eating, just wrap it up and save it for later. Saran wrap.
To go with Saran wrap.
It's so bad. And this one, apparently they got a feral cat that had been put down humanely and wrapped it up.
That's what they claim, is that they had one that was going to be put down anyway.
You know about that dog that was in fucking Prey? They found that dog in a shelter too, and they didn't film the movie and then fucking kill the goddamn dog after.
Yeah, I mean it's clearly
right, okay.
It's clearly the same fucking cat.
Yeah,
but yeah. They used the feral cat when it was still alive because it was scheduled to be put down. Well, it was going to be put down regardless.
If
That's
you
why
adopt
they used this cat so they could have it alive. But
if you adopt it, then it wouldn't be put down.
Well, I don't know. My understanding was that the cat was sick. Like, it was not... It was going to be put down no matter what they were going to do. They chose it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just telling...
Yeah, it's parents' side.
I'm reporting the news here, man. I'm not trying to make excuses for them.
The cat was sick. Its lifelong dream was to be an actor.
You know... I've talked about that before too. That like I want to donate my body to the movie.
This was his Make-A-Wish. I just think it's the cheapest thing that a movie can do is show some kind of fucking animal torture scene. Like that. It's just cheap. It's just easy.
Yeah, the easiest way to tell that somebody's a bad guy is having them kill an
Guess
animal.
what? You know what? I already figured out by his fucking mom riding him 2 goddamn times in a row. Okay? I figured out there's something wrong with this fucking
This
kid.
is the one part where Tim was like, "Can we get the mom back in here?"
Mm-hmm.
Can't he just fuck his mom again? I mean, come on.
I'm starting to get used to that one.
Yeah.
I'm getting soul blind to that one, so we might as well.
At least there's tits involved.
Tim, I was going to point out the amount of tits in this movie. You must have been.
Let me tell you, some great fucking tits too. I think I might have found a new fetish for myself. These
God.
fucking big droopy goddamn.
No wonder why you love 70s tits so much. 70s mom tits is apparently what you love.
No, this is. Yeah, well, this is 70s mom's tits in the 90s, Candice. This is what happened to the 70s.
So, Tim,
tits.
Rating them, which one's better then? Are we going to go with Mom or are we going to go with Angel?
Oh, Salvation Army.
Salvation. Oh,
come on.
Okay.
Easy answer.
I'd be singing to the Lord myself. Then tell her I don't believe in God.
Yeah, well, he doesn't stop believing in God until later. So, yeah, he kills the cat, and he's like, well, fuck. I guess the cat does need to breathe, right? So this doesn't make any fucking sense.
I feel like
dad...
he doesn't realize what death is. I think he just thinks the cat's like in hibernation or something.
Yeah, well, because he hasn't witnessed it in ever. I mean, he's never left the house. He's never met anyone other than his mom. Mm-hmm. So he's never seen something.
I think he just thinks the cat's like asleep.
But the mom threatens him with death if he leaves the house.
But he's never actually seen it.
That's true.
Fair.
He doesn't really know what that would look like.
He has.
Plus, he's fucking his mom every night. He's fucked up in the head. All right, he's not putting coherent thoughts
Tim's
together.
Like, I can't stress it up
because
this guy is
you know you see later on with the mom, like he doesn't. I don't think he understands that they're not coming back.
Yeah. No, that's true. So then his dad shows up for the first time in 35 years.
All right. His family reunion.
I'm here now. Yeah. What's the problem?
He's like, look, I got the cigarettes.
He's got to admit, it's funny that 35 years later and all those other chicks I was banging in the meantime.
He said he's got 2 girls. This is the only one who gave him a boy, and that's why he's a proud papa now. He finally got a boy.
Yeah. So he tries to play nice, you know, and be the dad.
He's
like,
the dad who stepped up.
Not the stepdad. The dad who's... So you listen to that podcast.
I'm sorry?
Never mind. So, yeah, he steps up. He's like, hey, I'm going to be your pop and everything. And there's a pop, because Bobby can't.
He just repeats
talk,
everything he hears.
Yeah, he's a mimic.
He's like a mimic.
Yeah, he parrots people, basically. It's very obnoxious. So
this guy has like no social manners whatsoever.
No, because he walks in and he's like, "Hey, Florence, how them titties doing? Huh? Am I right?"
But she's like, "They're great.
Pop one out.
Come look at them."
Yeah,
she's into it.
Please be my guest. Have a tit. So
we isolate that.
It'd be difficult because I'm the one that does the editing. So that's great. But then the old Bobby gets put on the couch. He's jealous. He's like, fuck, I used to fuck that broad. Now this guy comes stepping in, takes my mom from me. What a piece of shit. So he tries to like peek in at them fucking. He's like, get out of here. And Dad is like, get the fuck out of here.
Throws his boot at him or something.
Well, Tim. I mean, you would too, right? If you were banging
if
and
you
that
were
guy
the
showed
dad
up,
in this scenario, how would you respond?
Oh man, that's a good. Okay, so worst dad, right? I gotta get a ranking. Worst dad, this guy, or fucking the heroin dad that was shooting up between the toes.
Oh, this guy,
man,
really?
Heroin dad was going out making money.
Deadbeat at dawn.
God damn it. Deadbeat at dawn.
Deadbeat by dawn.
I think it goes like it goes like this guy, deadbeat at dawn, dad, Chris Benoit.
Oh my god! Oh.
It's about
Jesus Christ.
That's the Bad Dads Hall of Fame right there.
Yeah. The Bad Dads Hall of Fame. He's not going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he is in the Bad Dads Hall of Fame.
Which is way more fun Hall of Fame. Am I right, everybody?
ironically, most of the people in the WWE Hall of Fame are in the Bad Dads Hall of Fame, except for Benoit. So there should be more overlap.
Isn't that ironic?
It is. So then he notices, hey, the dad didn't have a gas mask. What the hell's going on here? He's kind of putting some things together, right? So
after 35 years.
Oh.
Well, Tim, he has no external information coming in.
Oh man, I had a red ink joke, and I skipped right past it. Damn it. Yeah, let's back up for like just a little bit. When Dad shows up and the mom's like making dinner for them and stuff, and he's drinking tea. Dad shows up and the mom's making dinner, and the dad's like, "You got any alcohol in here?" And she goes, "What'd Sherry do?" And he says, "Any port in a storm." And what she should have said is, "No, I said we have Sherry."
No, not port. Sherry.
That was his joke too, Candice, because he said it twice.
I guess I must have missed that part while I was typing up my joke.
You get it? Well, you were so proud of your own joke.
All right, so Candice, you're the dad in this scenario.
Candice is Pop. Wait a minute.
Yeah, Candice just joined the Bad Dads Hall of Fame. Can we get some really regal music?
Are you
playing?
Bad Dad enough?
Don't have it. That'd be like a sequel to Bad Dudes on NES and Bad Dads.
They're just old now.
They're just old and running out on their family, beating kids, buying too many scratchets.
I'm gonna play that on my 32X.
Oh man. So then that night, Bubby decides, hey, I got an idea. Let's test if Dad breathes. So
all right.
Sneaks up behind him and tries to smother him. Because like, you son of a bitch, what the fuck are you doing to me? You need to get the fuck out of here. So they kick Bubby out, and he freaks the fuck out, right? Because he assumes if he
thinks
he's gonna fucking die, right? So they shove his ass out. Oh, and by the way, this is after Bubby cut his hair
like
and put a beard on and started.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's like Beavis and
Butthead. He was cosplay.
Yeah, because when his pop shows up, he's dressed up like a fucking police cop.
Yeah, that's right. And
he's like to the mom, "Hey, after 35 years of me, not doing anything and coming back, because are we to believe that they've lived in this room for 35 years?"
I just assumed that movie, The Room, starring Brie Larson, that this is what that movie's about. I haven't seen it, but I can only assume.
No, that was Tommy Wiseau.
It was Tommy Wiseau.
Understandable mistake.
Yeah. Oh, God. So, yeah, he gets fucking freaked out after it gets shoved out. And he kind of curls up in the fetal position. And then I love that the next morning they just step over his body. They're like, doormat.
They're just going to go get drunk.
Without the gas masks. Oh, dude, and they get like level 3 drunk when they come back, man. It's fucking awesome. So they come back just fucking shithoused, freaking out on him.
Oh, that's right. This is when he has the fucking beard and the hat on him.
They're freaking out on him and shit. Oh my God. That was the best.
My dog's right here. Do you want me to see if she has to breathe? Okay.
Yeah.
I do have saran wrap. I always carry it with me for discipline.
Just in case.
That's good. That's good. So yeah, after they leave without the gas mask, he's like, motherfucker. He goes in, wrecks the house. Just like tears it completely fucking apart.
Yeah, which I was shocked at how well some of that furniture held up. I was like, that's quality material, even for poor people. You don't really get that kind of craftsmanship these days.
No.
Oh, God,
Tim. They've been fucking on that couch and that bed for 30, at least what? Let's be comfortable and say 28 years. Estimate.
The amount of familial body fluids, Candice.
That's what was holding
up. Saturated the mattress. Just completely.
No windows open.
Oh no. God. Just smells like somebody's making carnitas in there.
No. This gets worse and worse and worse.
I saw familial body fluid at Ozfest back in the day.
Yeah. Their bass player actually went on to form Coal Chamber.
Ugh.
It's true.
Full chamber.
Yeah.
For horses.
Full chamber. No. I was just thinking too, because a lot of times bugs will eat just whatever they find on the ground. You think he was eating any family sex drippings, those roaches?
Some Bubby spunk.
All right. See, we're getting down to the real questions tonight. This is...
And then Bubby eats the roach, so it's the circle of life.
And then he gets pregnant.
From whence it came.
Yeah, baby roaches.
Oh God! So yeah,
that's how we ended up with Joe's apartment.
Oh shit! Let's go straight to the top.
Oh, it's next door to Baby Bubby.
We figured it out, man. We found the chain.
Yeah. So they come back, and Bubby's having a full fucking mental breakdown, like twitching and freaking out because his entire universe has been torn apart.
Yeah, he's doing the Harlem Shake in there.
Yeah. He's figured out that there's no poison outside. His dad came home. He didn't even know he had a dad, and he lost his sexual partner.
Yeah, and the dad takes a shine to him for like the first 30 seconds, and then after that, it's pretty much downhill.
Yeah,
what do you say?
Isn't that always how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? I should have stayed another 35 years away.
Come back when he's 70. Just fucking the mummified mom.
His dad's still just as excited to be back.
Her
She's
tits
still
are
on
still
top
a
of
second wonder of the world.
Oh, man.
Moving like an office desk toy. Don't know how she keeps going.
So then this is when Bubby decides, hey, I'm just going to wrap plastic around their faces in the morning.
It'll be fine.
Because they were pretty shitty to him. And he's like, no, they need to just be still, right? So if they were just still, then everything would be fine.
Yeah.
And then he has a nice still family he's just chilling out with. Then we have a couple of weird cuts. And there's one of them where he's laying down next to his mom naked. Tim, did he fuck dead mom?
I bet he did.
I think that's the implication.
I bet Asher, we can ask her next week. I bet you she has this on fucking Blu-ray. And
was it Revulsion? Because that also had necrophilia. Was it Revulsion, not Repulsion? I always get those two confused.
I think it was...
What, the English movie? With the guy with the dead girl in the bed, and then he fucks some other chick with her next to him.
That was a Terry pick. That wasn't even Asher's.
Don't you love our podcast?
I think I need to get on a
better,
podcast
the
about
Grindbin
Lifetime movies.
or this podcast?
The Grindbin
just
incest
like Crimson
is much more enjoyable.
We work very hard on that.
You can isolate that.
Them tasteful incest, right?
Well, it's Jessica Chastain. She really sells the incest, so.
So yeah, we commit necro incest, and then
I believed she was really stuck.
Hey, the mom was stuck in the saran wrap, Tim.
Did I tell you?
Well, they were
to
stuck in that
explain what
room
stuck
together.
porn
So,
was to my husband. Because I made a joke about being stuck, and he just had this blank look on his face, and I was like, stuck. He's like, what? And so I had to sit him down and explain to him the facts of life and stuck pornography.
I think Candice gets off on this. I think he knows all about this porn. He's a porn whore. He's a whoremonger with porn. He knows everything there is to know.
God.
And he's just like, let's see how long
There's
I can
end
keep
up being
pushing
like a documentary about this guy. Like, man who spent an entire marriage trolling his wife.
I just feel so depraved the fact that I have to explain this.
How do you get your... That's it. It's like all his other friends at work are like, damn, man, I can't get my wife into porn no matter how hard I try. She's just not into it. And he's just like, let me show you the way. What's porn? My wife is so much of an actually lady, she won't be able to stop herself. Well, actually, stuck porn has a couple of different variations on it, but it's usually involved with step family.
Yeah, he walks in the room and just proudly declares stuck porns when you get all sticky. And you just see Candice start to shake.
I found out that being well actually is a family trait, apparently. Because my son had to be right so badly that he actually got himself in trouble. He could not help but correct me.
Oh, dear God.
He told on himself.
He told on
himself
that
he was right.
Just to prove himself he's right.
I lie about shit that has no consequence. Just for fun, just to test myself. And this motherfucker
couldn't be wrong. Could not be wrong.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
I was like, oh boy.
You passed right along. You two are going to end up killing each other.
A little bit.
Are you proud, Candice?
Like, welcome to the rest of your life.
Gross. Welcome to the rest of your life. Everybody's going to be wrong, and you're going to be right. And you got to show them. I'm Candice. So, yeah. So then he bangs his dead mom, and then he tries to feed the cat, the dead cat, a roach, which I guess he's just been feeding the cat roaches.
Yeah, because before he made like a daisy chain of fucking roaches. And
Oh yeah,
with the cat.
That's right. He's making toys out of dead roaches.
We're having fun.
Maybe this is where Joe's apartment did come from.
So
I gotta watch them together to see.
It's a good double feature. Bad Boy Bubby and Joe's apartment. That's a date night right there. You have that on as a double feature on a date. That poor person knows everything they need to know about you.
Oh yeah,
it's a real real
sniff test right there.
Puts this on for dates. You know she does.
I'm sure. So, oh god! So he goes searching for food, and I think he tries to bite a rock.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
I
don't know.
I don't know. He's like, shit. Well, there's no food. I guess I gotta go. I mean, I got all the sex I want here. I just need food. So he has to brave it out into the real world. Wanders out, and immediately everybody
5 feet outside of this fucking safe house, right?
Somebody tries to kill him, basically. They just start screaming at him.
I just assumed that this is what happens to Americans when they first step outside of the airport. This is just Australia.
In Australia. You know what? I gotta ask our Australian friend in the Discord if this is what it's like. So, I feel like
just like people chasing wheelchair motherfuckers around the goddamn block. It's like a whole 6 area block of fucking crime.
He wrote that scene into this because while he was writing this, he saw that happen.
Oh my god!
He saw somebody. He's also in a wheelchair.
You know what? It's a pretty good move, right? As long as you can go downhill.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to make sure you've oiled the wheels up pretty good, though, so you can really get.
If you go to San Francisco, you can probably do that shit nice and easy.
Yeah, you could. You just hold your arm out, Tim, and it's like supermarket sweep. You're just scraping every purse you can.
And those lib turds aren't going to call the cops.
Of course not. They're not going to stand their ground, Tim. That's a good point. Do whatever you want to them.
If you're in San Francisco, Eddie, and you see a guy in a wheelchair tear-assing it down the fucking hill, you do not stand
you step aside and grab a stick.
Put a stick in the spokes.
And then if you're at Camp Crystal Lake and you see a guy tear-assing it down some stairs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, Bobby, thank you for reminding me of that scene. God, I love that series, man. So good. So yeah, he immediately gets screamed at, hides back in his house, but then he gets dressed up like Pop. He packs his dead cat in the briefcase and heads on out.
It's kind of like a weird version of the Jerk. All I need is my dead cat.
So then I guess he lives in this dystopian hellscape. Because everything is wrecked.
Yep.
Everything is on fire. It's insane.
At this point, for real, I was like, don't tell me it's going to turn out that this shit was real, where she's really going out the fucking gas mask, because this is what the world is supposed to be.
Yeah, it's outside. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
It's funny.
Except you gotta fuck your mom.
All right. Man, 10 Cloverfield Lane, but then John Goodman introduces his mom.
God.
Oh boy. I've never seen the lovely Mrs. Goodman, but I assume she's a sturdy woman.
Absolutely.
So
let's hope he looks like his father.
Yeah. So he hears a choir singing, and he kind of moseys on over. You'll find that just anytime he hears music, he kind of gravitates toward it.
He's got a real ear for it.
Wait, has he ever heard music before?
True. Yeah, he wouldn't have. Unless his mom was like humming a tune while he was hitting it from behind.
Up. Plus, it's the universal language.
Hitting your mother from behind?
The universal language of hitting it from behind with old mom.
Make her sing soprano.
I've never understood.
Really don't show this to your son, Candice. So,
and doesn't he walk up to one? He's already saw the fucking synopsis for it. He's just waiting for you to go out. No. You don't have a fucking pin on your fucking Plex account, do you,
Yeah, Candice? I probably should.
Yeah, you better. You might want to put one on there. So,
yeah, probably. Just just to be on the safe side. Have him come home. He's like, "Hey, Mom, let's play a game. What's your favorite 4 numbers?"
Yeah. So he just walks up to the Salvation Army choir, gropes this chick, and she's all like, "No, come sing with us." So they just sing.
Yeah,
he just moves down the line and gropes the other one.
Pretty okay with getting their tits groped by some stranger. They're completely okay with it.
I got to go to Australia. Tell you, it's
man. You clearly haven't spent much time with the Salvation Army.
If you can make it past the airport with all the wheelchair crime,
what was that, Bobby?
I said, man, you clearly haven't spent much time with the Salvation Army.
Just how they get down, I guess.
You know what that bell was really for?
It's the dinner bell for my pussy.
You just tell everybody in the army, "Hey, this could be our last mission together."
Ding ding, soup's on. So they take him to a pizza joint, and they're like, "All right, here, sit down, have a piece of pizza." Then I like they use the donations for the pizza. That's a good move.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, and this dude takes a bite out of pizza, blows his fucking mind.
Yep. I was jealous when I saw that. I was like, wow, you know what? That might be worth all the shit, all the motherfucking stuff. And I mean, literally all the motherfucking stuff that you had to go through to be 35 years old.
You would have sex with your mom just so you could taste pizza for the first time.
Well, you haven't seen Tim's mom.
Well, it's not like there's a time machine, but,
Tim, you'd have sex with Bubby's mom for...
I'm sorry? Oh, Bubby's mom.
No, not Bobby. Yeah, we're going to have a problem with this episode.
Would not recommend.
Bobby's like,
take a slice of mom for grandma slice.
This movie really glamorizes that.
Let me tell you, it went poorly.
Don't isolate that.
This motherfucker said a slice of mom for a grandma slice. You piece of shit, Tim. You got me, buddy. So, yeah, have any of you had a food like that in your adult life where you just never had it all your life? You tried it and you're like, holy fuck, where has this been?
First time I ever had shawarma, I was like, holy shit, I have found the meaning of life. God, it's so good.
It is. It really fucking is, man.
I had a similar experience with garlic naan.
Oh yeah.
Like first time having
you're
Indian
like,
food.
why the fuck does not everybody do this?
Turns out you can't get really good Indian food in Allentown, Pennsylvania in the 80s. So when I came to California and started trying different types of stuff, I was like, oh wow, I was not eating well when I was a kid. Okay.
Yeah, the irony is that the British were colonizers and basically seeking out spice. They don't fucking use any of it in their food.
No.
Yeah,
they were selling it all. Yeah. That's like eating gold.
True.
You ever watch Dune? They're not eating any of that.
That's how they
shit.
navigate the stars.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. Fair. So I haven't had that, but my wife did not have scallops until like a year ago. Blew her fucking mind.
Just a year ago?
That's interesting.
I'm surprised you didn't like force it down her throat long before then.
Well, I did, but not scallops.
Yeah, I like how you two were on the same thing there.
Bobby.
You can't tee it up like that and not expect the follow-up. That's what he said to her.
Yeah. You can't key it up and not expect it.
Where do you think it's going? Come on. But, you know, it's interestingly enough, I tried scallops for the first time at like, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that. My grandmother made it. And she botched that
really
shit
rubbery.
so hard, which is amazing. She's like, "Oh, it was like eating a pencil eraser." It was like, "What the hell am I doing?" And so she set it up so much for me. I'm just like, you uncultured swine. Here, I'm gonna let you try some real food. And then it was after I tried it, she was like, "Yeah, I may have messed this one up."
Oh.
I was just going to say, did she know
when
that
she tried it too?
It's
like she pulled the plate back away from me. She's like, "You know what? On second thought."
I can tell by the look on your face. Get the fuck out of here now.
Yeah, you hear the tuba while I'm chewing, you know?
That's such a goddamn. That's something that you can completely fucking ruin too, man. Like a pizza is gonna still be okay mostly. Yeah, man.
But certain items, like you mess it up and it's done for.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think that's pretty much any seafood, right?
And I think that's kind of it kind of informed. I don't care for cooked seafood. Like I'll eat sushi and poke all fucking day, but you cook some food and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Texture,
just everything, man. I prefer, grind that shit into a rudimentary paste and you got me.
Yep. Yeah, I feel you. No, it is better.
God, I love seafood.
Yeah, I'm not a big seafood
fan.
Well,
myself, no kidding.
Shrimp is nice. I like shrimp.
I love a shrimp.
I think because I grew up in Florida, like I had fresh seafood like all the time. Like it was not hard to get. So I have like I love fresh seafood, or really even frozen seafood. Like cook it the right way, you can make it work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to ask, like, so what brand of fish sticks are we talking about here?
Like that's not real seafood. Come on now.
Gordon.
Sorry, nuggets. Okay.
What are you, a lesbian fish? Get it? Never mind. There was a South Park joke.
Wow, isolate that.
That was excellent science, though. Bravo to the other three of us for making it.
Very good.
We put him in a deprivation
chamber. There was a South Park joke where
the
joke was, "Do you like fish sticks?" "Yeah, I do." "Oh, you gay fish." And then Kanye, they said that to him, and he got pissed. That was the South Park joke.
It's that cutting-edge satire that only Matt Stone and Trey Parker can bring you.
Those globalists on
that brilliant satire of a gay joke.
It really is smarter than you think it is, folks at home. Go ahead and check it out.
It's a good thing they took shots at Family Guy, because that's way lower caliber humor. It's not the same at all. So, hey, speaking of eating seafood, this chick takes Bubby home and teaches him to eat pussy.
I guess when he, rang her bell, she was like, okay, didn't realize this is how my evening was going, but I'm down.
No, Karen, this goes to prove a point I think Eddie and I have said a few times. You can only talk yourself out of pussy. And this guy doesn't talk, right?
That's a very good point. And all he has to do is repeat whatever she says.
Oh, God, he's got it figured out.
Plus, he looks like Hugo Weaving, so... Yeah.
Yes, your coworker is
Bubby
a bitch.
Really is,
yes.
Yeah. I can't believe she'd say that to you either.
The only alternate ending I would have accepted, Bubby ends up being one of those
just repeat everything they say back to you.
Bubby the pickup artist. Dude,
here's how to be a sexual alpha.
He's a Sigma male. So, and I just say, yeah. And then he starts banging her out, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to sing my favorite song for Jesus to you. Well, your cock is inside of me. Everything's coming up Bubby,
Yeah, I was gonna ask I'll ask all three of you. You're in the midst of a sexual interlude, and
no, I'm not. Oh,
I think I don't understand what sex is, but go on.
That's why I keep the camera off.
Okay,
but the person you're with, she starts singing like this. Is this going to kill it for you? Are you going to stop the proceedings? Or are you going to try and make it through?
I will say I would.
It's going to make me last a little bit longer. I won't have to go through baseball scores.
I will say it would definitely. I would make a note.
In your head, you're making. I'm picturing you literally pulling out a notebook. Like, well, let me
exactly.
Yeah, why ruin a good thing?
I'd say,
right in the middle of it, right?
I'd say we got to do something from behind for a minute and get my tablet out and start writing. Like, I don't know.
Then you got to try not to think of your mom.
Yeah, that's fair. You got to try to not compare her to your mom. And that's difficult. So what about you, Candice? If you...
Yeah, Mom was kind of quiet. This one's at the top of a throat.
So, Candice, if dude you were hooking up with started singing.
Yeah, if you're hooking up with Robert Davi.
And I don't mean like the way that you've used to interrogate.
Robert Davi.
And I don't mean the way you used to interrogate people by having sex with them as a torture and making them quote unquote sing. I mean, if he actually was like,
you know, Candice, thank you for your service after 9/11.
Your version of waterboarding really saved this
the original squirter.
Are you gonna tell us where the weapons are? Or do I have to sit back down?
All the other professional CIA, they can only do
Just
one
turn on
guy at a
Crimson
time.
Peak in the
Candice
background.
is
We're
one
good to
avoiding
go.
6-7 guys at a time.
it's a gravity system. So if a guy started singing while you were fucking him, what would you?
Yeah, I think that would be a problem.
Candice?
I think it'd be like, can you not do that? Like maybe kiss him or
like
something, you know, to like shut him up. And then every time he started singing again, just kiss him again. That way they couldn't like talk.
That's pretty good.
So you're pegging a dude and he just starts singing opera.
No, he can't do that because he's already got the ball gagging.
That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Best he could do is scat.
That's a good move.
Common opera is what's going on.
Figaro.
Hums hard enough, it just makes the whole body vibrate.
All right, so yeah, you're pegging the dude from Crash Test Dummies.
You know what I love about our podcast is that when we get really good intellectual discussions about the content of the film. It's my favorite part. That's when people...
That's why we're number, 87 on Apple Charts?
Doing great. There's a lot of there's a lot of degenerates out there, too. That's all I got to say. So...
I'm curious to see how many, what kind of numbers this thing
do fucking numbers, dude. Believe me. I'm losing my mind here. So,
this is the episode that broke Eddie.
He goes outside of the apartment the next morning because she's gone. She pinned a note to him.
Like a child. When she does say that, she's like, "You're just like a wee boy."
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing too is everybody in this movie just keeps referring to him as a kid. I'm like, dude, okay, you could say he acts like a kid, but look at this fucking guy. The way they're talking and acting around him is like they literally believe that he's a little fucking kid.
It's somehow 10 times worse when they're like, he just got the mind of a child.
Yeah.
All right, here's another thing. Have any of us ever fucked somebody and the next day had to put a note on their coat so they could get home?
I've only ever received.
I do that. I like to have my property returned to me.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
If found, please.
It's like a Dahmer situation. He's like, no, don't leave me. Still ever spat. Just let him come back in. It's fine.
No, it's. Don't worry, we're good. So he leaves the house and tries to eat a tree. And this guy's like, "Hey, I'm cutting that down. Get out of here, shoo!" And he just follows a child into an appliance store.
Yeah, interesting outfit that guy is wearing. And he doing that on his
he
own
looks
time,
like he looks like he's just cutting down trees in this public area for no reason.
Just for fun.
And with all the other criminals that we've seen so far, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just cut down trees.
This is a very good point. Whenever you see like a Mad Max or an Escape from New York or LA, you never see trees. So I think there's got to be somebody during that whole apocalypse that walks by and cuts down all the trees.
Oh, like trash cans.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, but this guy's just
this is
Johnny Rottenseed.
That's got to be a dude in a punk band, like a cover band.
Johnny
or fucking...
Rottenseed. He's wearing like a coonskin cap and doing Sex Pistols covers.
Exactly.
Which, Johnny Rotten is now like full MAGA and all that shit too, which is just... Come on. For real, please. And he complains about how nobody will book him in his band anymore either, since he came out as being a...
Because you know how punk rock it is to be for, like, tax breaks on the rich.
You're telling me the dude from the Sex Pistols wasn't really a punk?
Yeah.
was all put together.
I need like a punk supergroup of just the guys who have since gone like full right wing.
Oh, that'd be great. So it'd be like the damn Yankees of punk.
Hell yeah.
I'm down. I'm down for it.
A bunch of horrible pro MAGA punk music.
They would be called damn Mexicans.
Yeah.
Damn Mexicans.
Jesus Christ.
It's okay because that's what they would say. Fair. I didn't say it. That's what they would say.
Yeah, that's what. I'm gonna make. I'm taking a sound clip out of that. Next time we're on Daniel's podcast, I'm gonna just start queuing it up for you, Tim. Oh God! So the guy cuts down the tree, and this dude fucking starts following a kid around, and then they kick him out. They're like, "Get the fuck out of here! Quit following a kid into an IKEA."
Yeah, they really give him a long time of following this fucking kid around before somebody kicks his ass out of the goddamn store.
That would not have played with me for more than 10 minutes. That was ridiculous. So then he gets kicked out. He tries to make friends with a dog. The dog barks at him. He's like, shit. Runs into a print shop, then barks at the cashier.
Gets chased into a Kinko's. He starts barking.
Poor Kinko's, guys, making less than minimum wage. Get fucking screamed at by a crazy dude. Yeah, the best. So then he goes out to. Oh yeah, this is when he goes to the bakery.
Oh yeah,
the lady.
Oh, the gigantic fucking donuts.
They
man.
look pretty
what
good.
The fuck
That's
is
for
up
sure.
With that?
And the one wealthy person in this town decided to stop by whatever garbage like street trash part of town he fucking lived in.
Yeah, he just stumbles into people and they just start taking care of him.
Right?
I've been thinking that about him since minute one.
See, this is...
Hey, look, that Salvation Army lady, she was satisfied, so
yeah,
she should be thanking his mom.
Hey.
She raised that kid right.
So yeah, no, but just the way that this guy stumbles into fortune is my comparison to Forrest Gump. Is that just everywhere he goes, something. Yeah. So because the lady's like, oh, I want 2 of those very fattening eclairs, and the guy just puts it on a tab. Then he walks in and mimics her. Oh, I want 2 of those eclairs. He goes like, yeah, it'll be $2. It's like, I want 2 of those eclairs. And the lady's like, just put it on my tab.
Like,
I'm gonna go break him in because clearly he knows how to fuck.
Sure,
so.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what she was getting ready to do, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, he's doing his.
She's like, those are going to be the most expensive eclairs you've ever had.
He's in front of his motivational speaking tour. He's got the headpiece on. He's like, now say it after me, fellas. Oh, 2 of those eclairs.
I'm telling you, you're right. He could have been a great pickup artist. So yeah, he gets in her car. They start driving off, and he just starts screaming at a cop. He's like, "Fuck you! Scene. Get the fuck out of here!"
Well, he screams at the cop with the when he went up there.
Get out of the road!
Get out of the road, you fucking bastard! And the cop just walks over, and drags him out of the car, and punches him in the sternum. I laughed so hard in that moment.
Yeah,
you smart ass.
And he falls to the ground. A couple of guys pick him up, and they're like, "Hey, we saw what that cop did to you. What a piece of shit! Here, jump in the back of our truck and have a beer."
This is like the beginning of a Muppet movie. It's like, like allegedly
just gonna go pluck garbage
at the back of a trash truck.
You think this is John Candy and his polka band?
Oh hell yeah!
No, so it's like a punk band or something. Like they pick him up and they're all like, "Hey, here, have a beer, Bubby." And they start singing some songs to him. They're like, "All right, you're."
Oh yeah, the
they're like, "All right, you're our apprentice roadie." So they have him go unload all of their shit and go play a gig to nobody in the audience.
In there.
No, what's funny is they're just standing there on stage, and some dude walks in, and he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, there's a band." He goes, "Where is everybody?" He's like, "There's no chicks here. I'm going to go someplace." And he goes, "No, come on. They'll stop playing if you come in."
Yeah, why waste the effort? That's a good point. Oh, man. So no, then they tell him like, all right, you're going to be our roadie. You're going to come with us. Just don't drop the speakers. Be kind of.
At least they're not trying to have sex with him,
not terrible,
unlike everybody else he's come across.
Not yet.
You watch.
Yeah. So then, after the show, they're all pooling their money together to go on a beer run or something. And they're all like, "Hey, Bubby, do you got any money?" He's like, "No, I don't got shit for you." Like, "Oh, okay." And somebody picks up a newspaper and is like, "Hey, check it out. Some motherfucker wrapped saran wrap around their parents or whatever and killed them." And he's like, "Oh, that's my mom and dad."
They've dubbed him the cling wrap killer. And he's just like, "Yeah, that was my parents."
Bad move. Then they read, "Oh shit, there's a $50,000 reward." We were just talking about needing money.
And guess what? That does not come into play.
Here he is.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because they're true friends, Candice.
Yeah.
Well, a good roadie's worth $50,000 easily, right? All you gotta do is pay this guy off for fucking pizza.
He'll eat cockroaches, man.
Getting emotional about that.
He'll eat cockroaches and his mother. So, yeah. Then they're all like, "Hey, what's that?"
The only bad side about him being a roadie is that all the women he lines up look like his mom.
Oh,
depends on what you're into.
True.
I don't know. If for Tim, he's found a new passion. He's fine with that.
For Bad Boy Timmy.
And Bad Boy Yobo.
Bad Boy Yobo.
Oh, man. So then they find the cling wrap cat in his briefcase, and they're like, "Wait a minute. I think it might be him. He just said that was his parents, and look, he's got a cling wrap dead cat." Yeah.
And it's a dead cat.
So they're all like, how about we hang on to him, get the $50,000 reward? You know what I'm saying? And they're like, "Hey, we got to talk this out. Hey, Bubby, why don't you take your stinky dead cat out of here? And, hey, bring us back some money." So it's like, "Oh, okay." This scene I love so much. There's just a guy like closing up at a gas station. He's got a pile of money on the counter in front of him. Dude. And Bubby just walks in. Fucking punches him right in the stomach. Takes the money and leaves.
Cop style.
This is how one acquires money. He's really just broken it down to the bare basics, the bare necessities.
He
really got it all figured out, man.
Yeah. So then he leaves, but he gets distracted because you know how in old abandoned tetanus factories, there's usually a lady hanging out playing the violin.
Totally not freaked out by this crazy-looking homeless person stumbling up on her.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she was trying to like get the atmosphere of danger.
Do you think she's like a Black Widow? Like she was luring him in?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least like a brown recluse.
Oh, because the violin on his back. Yeah, there you go.
She was the.
Yeah, I like that.
See.
She was the siren of the industrial district, just luring him in.
Tim does not like that.
Tim's not feeling that.
So he hangs out in there with her while the cops go whizzing by, and he just pops back in with the band, and he's like, "Here, I got you money." And they're like, "Uh-oh. You know what? Maybe this guy is more trouble than he's worth." So, because they hear the cops outside, and he's like, "Shit, we need to get rid of the guy. Hey, I know what we'll do. Let's drive him to our very wealthy art friend's house."
Again, he just stumbles into things.
I have written that he's in a fucking art gallery.
So they just drive him up to the art friend's house, and he's like, "Here's a nice suit.
Really
Let's go out to lunch."
Forrest Gump fucked his mom. It really is, because he's just like wandering through all this stuff. Things just happen to him.
Eddie, can you isolate that and send it to Mike? And go, what did you think of the movie, Candice?
True.
She said it really like
1 hour,
wow, I just had a
23
revelation.
minutes.
Fucks
Forrest
his mom.
Gump fucks his mom.
Sally
fair.
Field got no
That's
tits
very
like that.
fair.
Eddie, can you isolate that and send that to Mike?
Okay.
It's like on Family Guy when
Tim.
they're talking about Smokey and the Bandit, and they're like, "And have fun tapping that hot Sally Field." He's like, "I work with what I got."
Wow.
1 hour, 24 minutes. Tim says some Tim shit. Okay, so
Some real Tim shit
some
happened.
real Tim shit. All right, guys, I think we need to take a break here because I am suspiciously low on libations. So why don't we give it a pause at this and come back in 5?
Sounds good.
All right. Cool.
And we're back. So, yeah, the artist friend takes him to go have lunch, and he starts making eyes at this chick. And the rich guy's like, "Hey, dude, you should just go over there and
Go.
lay it
Go
down."
for it.
Yeah, he's got a type.
Well, this chick looks
Yeah.
like his mom, doesn't she?
That's definitely the type he goes for. But I think he's got a shot because in this scene, he's dressed like smooth criminal Michael Jackson.
Oh, see, I
Miami
was
Vice,
thinking Don Johnson from Miami
He's got
Vice.
a very Miami Vice look. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
It just walks up to her and just starts in on her tits. Like,
Well, it's
immediately.
worked for him
That's
in
his
the
move,
past.
you know?
So
It's a great
A
move.
great move.
It
That's
is a
not
great
a
move because
line.
if you can get
Great
past that opening line,
if you
you're
just
in,
walk
right?
up and grab someone's
Yes,
tits.
it is. Well, it's a good way of weeding out the easy ones versus the
Yeah,
hard
I mean,
It's
you
announcing your
certainly
presence with authority.
right. I always love in the movie Dirty Work when they first go to the bar and Artie Lang's character sees this chick and he's like, "Hey, go talk to her." And he walks up there and goes, "Hi, I live with my dad." It was like the funniest pickup line ever.
This is such a great movie.
It really is, man.
Yeah.
Let's watch that instead and talk about that. No. So, but
Who's the mom in that movie?
You don't see a mom in that movie. One is implied,
Good.
but that's
Already,
it.
I like it better.
So, no, then the woman just starts freaking out on him. Like, "Oh, you think just because you're all rich and handsome, you can come up and just tease me like this?"
And he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, his freaks the.
Handsome?
Oh yeah,
What do you mean?
handsome. Maybe I do need to go to Australia if that passes for handsome. I'm fucking Don Johnson down there.
Hell yeah, you can clean up.
I would. All sorts of women I would not want to.
They all
to
have
sex
mullets.
with. I'm sorry, David. It's where you live, man. I don't know what to tell you. No, Australians are great. So she freaks out, and the cops come and pick him up. They toss him in his cell. And this is when Tim's like, "Wow, this guy's got it made." Because he
No, this is
Now he's got
this
3
reason
hots
that
and a
it
cot,
is,
man. He's
so.
doing great.
3 hots and a
Oh,
lot.
we'll answer that question momentarily.
Because I've always been hearing that expression wrong my whole life.
Yeah, Tim, it's 3 hots, a cot, and all the sex you could ever want. So he chases around some roaches. He's purring, growling, playing like a kitty, catches the roach, takes it apart. He's just having Bubby's dream,
Absolutely.
He's in Bubby's world.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Jail for
He's
this
like,
guy's
"I
a
don't have to
cakewalk,
fuck
right?
my mom. This is nothing. I can do that standing on my head." Then the next morning he wakes up and there are bagpipes
Why is
parading
Roddy Piper's here.
Roddy Pipes.
This is torture, right?
He really is
They're
in
doing it to
Piper's
torture
Pit
the
at this
prisoners.
time.
He's about to be, that's for sure.
He's going to get a
about to lay down
coconut
some
busted
pipe.
on his head. No. Yeah. Oh, god damn it. So, yeah, the bagpipe parade marches by his cell, and I'm like, this is the torture that they were using in Afghanistan when they were making him listen to Metallica. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was 93, right?
Yeah.
So Korn's first album came out in 95, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Do you think that inspired them to add a little bagpipe?
Young Jonathan Davis is watching this, like, scribbling down notes. Bagpipe. Growling. Problems with your mother. Oh, this is gold.
It's all there.
This is gold. What was the guy? Noodles?
Yeah.
Was in that band?
Noodles.
Fucking
there
guy
was
named
Stupid
Noodles.
facial hair.
No, there's a guy named Noodles in The Offspring.
What?
No, you're thinking of Head. There was Monkey
Noodles
and
is the
there was
guitarist
Head.
for The Offspring. There's Monkey,
Yes, that's
Head,
right.
and Fieldy.
Okay.
I can't believe you fucked that up. God.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so
Start over.
here we are. Noodles the musician, born Kevin John Wasserman. He was the lead guitarist and backing of The Offspring. There you go.
Mm-hmm. I ran into him at a mall a couple of years ago.
Oh, is he doing
I'm pretty
okay?
sure that Bobby just will actually
He's
do.
buying noodles.
That's, fair. You know what,
Well,
sir?
when in Rome.
I tip my hat to you, sir. Yeah.
He did
Little
it nice and
tax.
pleasantly, though.
I smiled a little.
The Bobby difference. So they so he starts freaking out because of the bagpipes, like you should. The prison guard pops. By the way, this prison guard was funny as hell because he popped in the night before. He's like, "Yeah, I just want to talk to you. It gets lonely in here." And he's like, "Fine. You know what? You don't want to be my friend? Fuck you." So the
Scatters his cockroach.
the prison guard drags him. He's like, "All right, you're gonna go into the fucking animal." And I'm like, "Oh God, oh no."
La, la, la.
Yeah.
He does like music.
Yeah.
Thank God we didn't see that
bad
scene.
boy.
He's doing a double bass on his ass. I'll tell you that. So he gets in there.
Yes.
Oh,
Plus, did you see there was shit all over the fucking
smeared
walls?
shit on the walls. There's just a half naked dude
And I was
kind
like,
of
is he
crouched
taking
in
a
the
shit?
corner. And well, yeah, he's not done with his memoirs.
Yeah.
He
They
ran
only
out
got
of ink.
3/4 of the cell painted.
So he no, what he does is he says, "Hey, Mr. Animal, nice to meet you. I'm the cling wrap killer." Yeah. And an animal's like, "That's fun. I'm gonna rape your asshole."
To the sound of
throws him
bagpipes.
down.
Can we isolate that? For
Yeah. Bobby, I'll give you that
that's
one for
funny.
free, buddy.
That could be your wake
I'll
up
see you
alarm.
tomorrow, Eddie.
Hey. No, honestly, it's very fun that I made Bobby watch this, and he has the ability to punch me in my mouth tomorrow.
Yeah, in about about 15 hours. I'm gonna be standing in front of you.
15 hours, yeah. Bobby could just thump me on the top of the head for this fucking thing. So, no, so
Like,
the
"Homie
animal,
the clown."
the animal is a man of very few words. So he just, and I say, man, this is the only thing that's worse than the bagpipes is the rape.
I don't know.
Hard to say.
Hard to say. So this guy fucked his mom, listened to bagpipes, and got fucked in the ass against his will.
You're reading that right off the back
do
of
you
the
think
box,
he like
right?
has flashbacks every time he hears bagpipes after that? Takes him back to his days in prison.
Oh God.
he tries to
man.
watch Titanic, and as soon as the bagpipes start playing, he's like butthole clenches up.
Yeah, it is.
I thought I was the only one who did that watching Titanic.
I think bagpipes just do that to you naturally.
So you think one of the band members is like, listen, it's later in our career. Korn is taken off. We got to introduce bagpipes. And he's like, no. If you play the bagpipes, I walk. Oh, man. So, then the warden takes him in and says, like, hey, here's $10. You've been rehabilitated.
So are they paying him off to let him out of jail? Because he got raped in the jail, and because the prison guard put him in the fucking cell?
Sure.
Because he was basically in there for grabbing some fucking woman's tit, a rich woman's tit, right? How is he rehabilitated right after he gets fucking raped?
That's true. They don't just give you money when you walk out. I don't think
they usually do stuff like that to you when you're in jail, right?
Yeah. I don't think they give you money.
Well, they do if you've been working. You get. I think you do get some money when they can't be that stupid to put somebody who's been in jail for like 10 fucking years and here's 5 cents.
Yeah. Maybe that was a tip from the animal.
Just the tip.
Did a good job.
It's like, you were all right.
He paid him $1 for each time he did it.
They let him out, and he hears an organ at a church, and I'm like, oh, he's going to get raped again?
It's not the only organ he's going to have.
This is for goddamn ridiculous.
I just at this
Everybody
point,
get your organ jokes out of the way right now.
He's not in Portland anymore. So he goes to Oregon.
Deprivation chamber.
Can we isolate that silence?
I've been isolated for too long. So then he goes up to the organ player and he's like, hey man, Jesus sees everything that I do and Jesus is going to beat me brainless. He's miming his mother, right? So the organ player's like, look man, let's get out of here. I got to talk to you. And this is when I'm like, he's going to get raped. But no, he takes him to a big machine factory where there's big machines that are spinning.
Where you shoot music videos.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just a place that creates sparks.
A spark factory. Exactly. It's a place Prodigy would be filming in.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or Rammstein.
You just put the Byhawk guy down a hallway somewhere, let him scream at the walls for a little bit.
That makes sense too, because the house that Bubby grew up in, I think, was in the Sweet Dreams video. It looked very similar. So he's like, look, Bubby, that whole God thing, that's nonsense. We're all just made out of atoms. There is no God. And then he explains to him the problem with human suffering. And he's like, so you know what? Why don't you see God from me? And he's like tapping his chest. He's like, from me, you tell him to fuck himself. And you tell him I said that. I'm like, shit. Yeah. And he's and by the way, if he's got a problem with that, he can fucking smite me right now. And he tells Bubby, you need to think God out of existence. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the reviewer was bitching about. So Bubby, already, having a good day. He's wearing his Miami Vice outfit that's disheveled, to say the least. And he's walking in the middle of the night. Fuck God. I'm like, oh, dude. Problems.
This guy rules, man.
He does rule. I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't rule. Yeah.
Like I said, so that the ups and the downs.
Speaking of ups and downs, this is an immediate up and down. He finds a woman that kind of looks like his mom. She goes up to her, I think it's like a baking club.
I don't know, whatever it is that women do, baking clubs, Tupperware party.
Yeah, I think it's something like a baking or Tupperware party, dildo
blowjob class, something like that. They got some stripper turn around.
They have a stripper turn around on their husband.
That's never going to not be funny to me. I swear to God.
So he's a gentleman, though. He waits outside and then immediately grabs her tits. And finally,
yeah, I mean that's very true.
It's not like it hasn't worked in the past, right?
I mean, there was the lady that got him arrested. It didn't work then.
Plus, he's like a little kid doing it, right? Because everybody's looking at him as a little kid, look at him, all that. So it's not like me going up and grabbing some woman's tit.
Oh my God, that's another Family Guy thing.
Tim,
where Peter gets has an IQ test and come to find out he's like mentally deficient. And so he starts going around into women's bathrooms, like slamming open the stall doors. And he goes, they scream, and he's like, "It's okay, I'm retarded." And they're like, "Oh, you're just curious. Here's how everything works."
Oh God!
That cutting edge satire.
Yeah, cutting edge.
So known for.
Right up there with Matt Stone and Trey Parker for their comedic styling. Hey, you
It's
know
like,
what?
really,
Now I'm
you
thinking
can't
about it.
beat
Kevin Smith isn't that bad.
You know, Clerks 3, pretty good.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and watch that because it's not too bad. No, what has been good is the new Beavis and Butthead season. By the way, that has been good.
More
I've not
silence,
watched
yeah.
any of that yet, so I can't
More
comment on it.
silence.
That's great, dude. You should check it out. You'd like it. So he gropes this chick, and finally somebody reacts the way you should, and all of the
Someone
women
yells,
just
"Hell yeah, brother!"
And
throw
rape
him
the shit
down.
out of him.
and they all fuck him up his ass. No, they Steve Austin stomp a mud hole in this motherfucker on the ground.
You know, I just thought something. Maybe because I'm really high and the edibles are really kicking in. This movie's a little bit like Clockwork Orange.
Okay.
Where he's like stumbling from one event to another, and then like at the end we got, you know, he fucked up that bum in the beginning
Yeah,
of the
because
movie.
he can't fight back. Yeah.
And then he has all the other old bums
Oh.
coming around beating the shit out of him.
So you're saying he's... Oh, and you're right, Tim, and all of this started happening after he was rehabilitated.
Yeah, I remember that in
And he had to
Clockwork
keep his
Orange.
eyes open while
very
he's banging
famous
his
scene.
mom.
I remember that.
She was asking for it.
Walking around with
She's
that
asking
on
for
it.
it.
Come on.
When she started singing in the rain.
Oh, that's his bagpipes.
The music. Yeah.
Yeah, like he hears bagpipes and he starts throwing up. He gets violently ill.
You know what? It all tracks. You're right. It all
Stanley
makes
Kubrick.
sense.
Well, I guess he wouldn't.
So
be a
he's
hack
all
'cause that
defeated.
came out before this.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's picking him up
Yeah.
and using him for
So
what
then
they want,
he
right?
stumbles back home because he's like, you know what? This whole outside thing didn't work. I'm going to go back home. And he just sees the chalk outlines on the floor of his mom and his dad. And he lays down and cries. And he tells Chalk Mom, she's like, you know what? You know what, Mom? You were right.
Shut up, Tim.
You're really dry tonight.
Was that one of your red chalk jokes?
You just got to let him go for a minute, Bobby. So Tim, do you think he does like the end of a pool cue with his cock on the chalk outline there?
Yeah,
There you go.
Look at that squeaking sound.
So yeah, he tells Chalk Mom, you know what? You were right. And that's when Candice got wet. And he says, you know what? I don't fit in out there, Mom. I fit in here. And he points at the pussy. It's like, I fit in here, right? And then he elbows Pop's chalk outline, like, right?
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's been in there too.
All he has to do is take a piece of chalk and draw one extra line.
So he's like, yeah, I don't fit in outside. Wakes up the next morning. And he's sitting there feeling sorry for himself like a loser. But then he remembers the song they sang about old Bad Boy Bubby blues. And he gets dressed up. He's got a pep in his step, a song in his heart, and mom juice on his dick. And he goes looking. He goes looking for the Salvation Army broad. Kid, is he all right? I think we've broken her. He goes looking for the Salvation Army broad, and she's not. Exactly. I'm going to kill Candice.
Candice is broken.
With kindness. She's going to die
feel
like
I
the
got
weasels
this,
and
Joker
Roger
venom.
Rabbit.
I just keep laughing. I'm just going to fall over dying.
That's good.
Oh.
So, he goes back to the pizza place looking for, Salvation Army singers, and they're not there. Then he talks his way. Tim, this must have been when you were like in heaven. Talks his way into free pizza.
Dude, that priest thing is a fucking great scam for getting free food. For real. If you go into a diner and you're dressed up as a priest, someplace like that, most likely they're going to comp you, right? Or if you just pull the thing with, gosh, I forgot me wallet. That's it.
You just go around dressed like an Irish priest.
Didn't we watch a movie
Say gosh and say Pagora.
Was trying to get a free meal by saying the second meal was for God?
Yes, it was Deadbeat at Dawn.
Oh my God, we've seen too many
that's
movies.
Right, yeah.
Deadbeat at Dawn. Yeah, we have, and they're all deadbeat at dawn. So I've got one of those priest outfits with the collar and everything. I should go try to get some free food.
Hell yeah.
It's a good move, man. So
you got to have the Irish brogue, though.
No, I can't say gosh and begorra like Tim does. I don't have that down. The other accents everybody wants to do real quick.
They're making bombs in Belfast.
It's okay. It's Irish. Jesus. Can you do a decent Italian, Candice?
A diesel Italian.
A decent Italian.
It's about the family.
And Eddie Deason.
Wait, a diesel Italian is when you hear your family.
Yeah. That's when you hold your hand up weird for the raptors so that they don't attack. That's a decent Italian. So, yeah, he goes out, he finds a briefcase, and he finds a nice little cat, an alive cat, not a dead cat.
I have written down, come on with the fucking cat.
But Tim, he's nice to this cat.
That's
he's like, hold up, pizza is almost as good as mom pussy. I'm going to go get you some. I'll be right back, cat. So he leaves to go get some pizza for the cat. Then on the way, a homeless guy is all like, hey, man, do you have any money? Bobby's like, here's $10. He's like,
God,
oh, shit,
what you said
I'm going to go buy you a drink, pal.
Just reminded me when I worked at a pizza restaurant.
Oh, God, no.
And octopus was one of the toppings you could get on it.
Uh-oh.
And one of the other cooks went to go get octopus, and it the juice spilled on his apron, and he goes, oh, I got pussy juice on me.
Octopussy, you very good. Very good.
Oh, okay, go on. Pussy juice.
And that guy is the mayor of your town now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you interrupted for that one, Candice. That was very good. So, yeah, the homeless guy takes him in to buy him a drink. Bobby, he's like, oh, fuck that. There's my buddy Paul. And I'm like, wait, I don't know that guy had a name. But, okay. It's one of the members of the band that he used to roll with. And they head up, they grab him, and they're like, hey, man, here's the mic. Get to work. I gotta say,
the song that they were playing was not bad.
No, it was actually pretty good.
Especially good after Bubby started doing his greatest hits over it.
Plus, hats off to the band, because that can't be easy getting that fucking guy up there and improvising around him, right? This is like, I've written down, he's a hit. He's like the new Jim Morrison. The band doesn't know what to do except play a beat behind.
But the crowd is captivated. They've never seen anything like this before.
No, because he's telling truth, man.
Yeah. You know that new sound you've been looking for?
Oh, God. No, that's not it. That's the rantings of a maniac. That's not. Well, that is the new sound you were looking for. Never mind. So yeah,
this guy would be opening for Soundgarden in Seattle.
He would. You know what? That's fair.
On heroin.
I could see I was gonna say I could see after Waylon died, STP might have got Bubby. They might have been like, we got, he might work. Like, we'll give it a shot.
Are they still together at all?
So,
well, it's tough because they briefly had Chester from Linkin Park.
Yeah. So
I think they may have hung it up by now. Like, you know what? Let's not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of another one. Like at this point, are we the problem?
We're running out of backyard space here. I can't.
Yeah. It's the whole, like, if every person you meet treats you like an asshole, maybe you're the asshole. If every lead singer you recruit.
No, finish that thought. Go ahead.
No. Oh, yeah. So the end of that thought is that they take Bubby and they're like, hey, you know what you should do? Is you should hang out with us from now on. and be here every night? And well, yeah, we'll give you pizza. That's not. And he's like, look, you know what? This fast-paced rock and roll lifestyle ain't for me. I gotta go back and bring my cat some pizza. And Tim, you remember the alive cat? The alive cat that was the one that he was going to treat nice and he was going to give it pizza. He goes back.
The one I have written down.
He goes back and some local youths are hassling it. They're like, hey, he bit me. I'm going to kill that cat. And he's like, no, get the fuck out of here. Goes over there. Turns out that cat's dead.
What?
Yeah. Just another in a long line of tragic.
Just when you starting to enjoy the movie a little bit, right? And you're like, hey, you know what? Look, say what you want. There's a lot of mom fucking in the movie.
There hasn't been mom fucking for an hour in the movie.
And he keeps rewinding it.
Oh.
It's like, this movie's nothing but mom fucking.
I'm watching this on the blood bank, and then also on my phone, I'm watching it on the other blood bank account they have.
Yeah, you're doubling up on it. By the way, the only other place this is available is Amazon Prime. You have to pay for it. Not
Patreon.com for
$2.
How much is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. But that's just to rent it. Patreon.com, Bloody Bits. It's pretty much yours
if you want to watch a Blu-ray rip of this guy fucking his mom.
Which
Bloody
it also says
Patreon
on there. I don't know if you
at.
guys noticed. It said property of Eddie Jefferson.
Listen.
Yeah. It's got my name right on it.
Yes, it does. Better not fucking steal that
you
shit.
Just did an entire ad for your podcast and got it in one. You want to see a Blu-ray rip of this guy fucking his mom? Go to Patreon.
I'm not drinking. I'm doing the edibles. That's why I can do it.
Tim's on edibles. He's fine when he's doing edibles. I mean, I wouldn't say fine. I would say
cohesive.
Fine's relative.
He's a different Tim. Let's say. Nah. So yeah, then they're all like, okay, because he comes back after the dead cat. He freaks out and. He goes to hang out on a park bench and pet it, and some folks come swinging by, and this is where it's going to be a little difficult to talk about this movie because they just have some folks who have very bad cerebral palsy that they've decided would be great to cast in this movie.
I was like, he's going to have sex with one of them, isn't he?
Yeah, that was tough.
Oh, God damn it. I bet you all have the same fucking note, right?
Yep.
We all like, no, come on, don't do it. I was like, I will personally ban Asher from this fucking podcast.
That's not up to you. So, yeah.
Wow. I'll do a Mary Gross next time she's on.
Yeah, you're gonna pull a Mike's wife not on our fucking Twilight episode, right?
Tim's outside doing yard work.
Yeah,
I know he lives in an apartment in New York, but trust me, he's doing yard work.
Yeah, don't.
Hey, I get a little bit of a break on my rent.
So, no, he. It turns out can communicate with. Rebecca, right? Was that her name? Or Rachel? He can communicate with Rachel, who has very bad cerebral palsy and seems non-communicative, but he can hear her and understand her. So and this is proven when he tells the nurse that's escorting them around, like, yeah, hey, she says your name's Angel and she wants me to come back with you. And he's like, fuck. And show me your tits.
And show me your tits.
She said you should show me your tits. No, she doesn't say that, Tim, because that we'll learn later that she has some feelings toward him. So they take him back to the hospital, and they're like, all right, well, what do we do with him? Because he's clearly got problems.
He could stay here. He belongs.
But I might...
There's no problem with this, right?
Yeah, but Angel might want to get some dick from her.
Only.
So.
Yeah, I know. only when he says they're like my mom's
What has this
tits.
guy got? Jesus
She's
Christ,
like, "Aw."
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's rough because she goes and takes him for a wash, and he's like,
But again, if you lay that line on a chick and she goes, "Oh," you're in like Flynn, right? There's nothing
you know
else
what,
that you
Tim?
can do that's gonna
For
like
you,
fuck that shit up.
yes.
Yeah, you are irreparably in.
Yeah, Tim.
That's how you
all
sit
of
there
your
ride or
advice you're
die.
giving right now for you specifically, 100%. Go do it.
Hell
That's
yeah.
your life, Tim.
My
When
next,
you're reborn as Bubby.
I'll have to wait till I'm 35.
Yeah. No pizza till 35. It would have been worth it for you, though, to fuck your mom. But hey, so speaking of, he's getting washed out by it.
Oh, thank God, you're.
Man, nice gooey.
Are you
what about
talking
the
about-
cheese
God
pulled
damn
out?
it!
And then the pizza.
But
Y'all said it.
Shut up.
All that sauce. This oil just dripping down your hand.
I'm really
You don't
gonna
have
miss
enough
you
napkins.
yeah, hey, you know what, Bobby? Thanks for joining us.
I didn't know I'd be on such a special episode.
Yeah,
Hey,
no
thanks a
problem.
lot for listening, everybody.
You know what, man? You're welcome. So no, then he's all like, "I'm
Oh, he's
popping.
popping all right.
Pop wants to see Angel's tits," and she's like, "She's about to pop."
Oh, and she asked the most stupid question I've ever heard any woman ever ask.
Yeah,
Are they too big?
it's a pretty bad question. It's fair, Tim. It's very fair. So
What
Even
would
if
be
they are, no
what would
guy's
be
gonna
too
say
big?
yeah, no, I mean,
especially in a situation like that.
Oh, there are tits that are way too big. I've seen on TV like these fucking strippers who like do the fucking plastic surgery where they like got like quadruple double X fucking shit like that. But still, when push comes to shove, if you're in the bed with them,
I've got an answer
it's
for
like,
you on that
get
one,
the fuck out of
Candice.
here.
Too big are the ones I'm looking at, and my wife is saying, "Are those too big?"
This
Yep.
guy's been married for a bit.
Absolutely. Are what too big? Oh, that? Oh, gross. I
My
didn't even
feelings
identify.
toward you, honey, of course they're not too big.
I
It's
didn't
impossible.
identify that as even something sexual. Wow. Let's go pray. So,
I didn't see him.
yeah, I don't know why are you looking at him?
I must have missed it.
Who let you out of your room?
Where's your gas mask?
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, Angel gives him a wash. He's being Pop, and Angel's like, "No, Pop can't see him, but Bubby can." And now he's conflicted because he's like, "Fuck, do I end this charade just for tits?" And
Because
he
he's
does.
still a man deep down inside.
Who among us hasn't thought that exact sentence at some point?
Yeah, but out of the two, Pop is the one
Yeah,
who's
but she
at least
doesn't
acting
want
a
an
little bit more
adult. She wants a
adult.
child to fuck.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Duh.
I know.
So then, yeah, Bubby helps
Clearly.
out with the therapy patients because they're having some like reading a book and doing massage therapy with them. So then,
It's like a vocational school.
yeah. So then, the nurse shows up and's like, "Hey, Bubby, let's show you where your room's at." And then, what's her nose? Rachel's like, "Yeah, it's in my room."
And I'm like, "Oh,
under
please
my,
no,
bed.
please no,
That's where
no,
he's
no,
gonna
no,
sleep."
no."
And she's like, "Nah,
Yeah.
that's not that room. It's a different room. Let's go take a look at it." So they go look at it. And then he shows the nurse the flyer for his band. And she's like, "Wait, you have a band?"
Yeah.
The note that they wrote, because they also wrote a note
Yeah.
and stuck it on his
So
fucking
she's like, "Wait,
jacket,
you have a
right?
band?" He's like, "I don't know." Shrugs. So then cut to the band. And he's on stage. And he's laying it down to really be sexy for his woman. So he reenacts being raped by the animal.
Jesus Christ.
Which, Tim, here's the thing. If you do that to a woman and she's still down,
Hey, look, it's making lemons.
Making
It's making
lemons
lemonade
out
out
of
of
lemonade.
lemons,
We're
right?
making lemons, baby.
so but she's down, so she loves it, loves his performance. Cut to after the show, behind the scenes, the guys are like, "Hey, we got a surprise for you, Bobby." And they bring him up to this room, and they're like, here you go. And 2 chicks pop up.
Oh, man.
And they're like, hey, you're a virgin. We're going to bang you out. Ha. And this dude, big
fuck yeah, he
times
does.
he just looks at him and he's like, nah.
Too small.
And they're like, wait, what?
Yep.
Too small.
Which they're perfectly fine.
Tiny
Can you imagine?
tits.
Candice would have gone.
The one on the left, yeah, was great.
I didn't see him.
Well, my wife doesn't listen to the podcast. So back at the hospital, Bubby is talking to Rachel, and it's interesting because we don't know what she's saying. We just get his response. And he's like, no, nah, sorry, no. And then he lets her down the most gently I've ever seen somebody let down possible. He's like, listen, you don't have big enough tits. No, he does not say that. He holds her and he's crying with her. And the nurse is like, why are you crying? And he's like, well, because she doesn't have a Bubby. Because Bubby loves Angel, and that's got to feel bad for her, so I feel bad for her.
Sploosh.
So I'm crying.
Angel's like so hot right now. Oh, he's so sensitive.
Angel's like,
I thought you were talking about yourself.
Yep.
Crying
Because
in my
she
arms
takes
like
him
a
to
little
fourth
baby.
base, meeting her family.
And what a great family.
I was just going to say, Candice, did this give you some twangs of family?
Was never
life
called
here?
fat, so I got that much going for me.
Oh my God. Not just fat, they called her like a fat whore.
God hates you because you're fat.
A fat slut, yes.
Ugh.
And the faster he knows it, the better for him. Like, holy fuck, this is up there with the
Dude,
fucking
it's
American
a total.
History X dinner.
You see this tattoo? It means no fat chicks.
A fat chick killed my dad. She jumped out of a window while he was a fireman and he landed
couldn't
on her.
carry her down the. Yeah, no, you get the jokes, fat jokes. So no, they're fucking shitty because they're first of all they're eating a weird giant fish on rice.
Yeah, what
It's
the
a
fuck kind of
barracuda.
fish is that thing, man?
They're eating a marlin.
That's a
They're
fucking
eating a
river
marlin.
monster.
Well, it's Australia, so you know.
They're all a little bigger there.
Everything's bigger and meaner down there. So
and meaner.
The tits are bigger down there. So they're eating the and meaner.
The tits are way meaner.
Especially moms. So they're eating it and they're like, hey, Bubby, how's the food? And he's like, yeah, pizza's better than this. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Looks like it. Yeah. So then, that's when the mom's like, yeah, hey, Angel, I notice you're eating all of your food immediately like a fat ass. Jesus. Just so you know. Bubby, you don't like that, do you? And Bubby's like, nah, fuck you.
Fat. She's just kind of like plump. Yeah, she's got a little extra. That's it. It's not like she's like, like my 800-pound life or something like that. Exactly.
Those tits fit perfectly for her shape.
Right, Tim. That'll validate her as a person. Her tits fit her body. Very good. You know the type of woman. So
the gentleman yobo.
The gentleman yobo. So yeah, then the mom's like, yeah, God hates fat people. And Bubby, he's like, oh, I got one in the chamber for this shit.
Here we go.
Hey, by the way, fuck God. God's a useless cunt. The mom's like, well, I never. And then turns around and slaps Angel. And I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't know you could pull that off at a family dinner. I would have went to more of them.
You just lean over and punch your wife in the face.
You just act a fool. You just act a fool and her mom will do it.
Going to get her hit?
Yeah.
It's the workaround, Candice.
So... Yeah. So then they kick Bubby out. They're like, look, Bubby, you got to go. He's like, fine. Only if Angel will come with me.
Dun, dun, dun.
But she doesn't.
Oh.
the next scene. I love the very next scene you see is like Bubby's hand reaching out and pulling out saran wrap.
He's gonna nip this problem right in the bud.
Yes.
Hey, it's worked before, right?
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Grabbing the tits, and if
Tits
that
or
doesn't work,
saran wrap,
saran
your
wrap.
choice. It's so great, dude. Because he just reaches up and grabs it, and it's just like, well, I've got the tool for this job.
I gotta point out, I was checking my Twitter.
Oh, my cat's gonna jump
no.
on me. Hold on.
Well,
Okay.
just put it in saran wrap. It won't move.
Go
then.
ahead, Candice. You were checking your Twitter and
Vaughn, because I posted that we were going to be watching this movie. He said this movie is a delight. It kind of sucks. It's being wasted on you guys. This from the guy who
Vaughn?
Vinny.
It doesn't surprise me at all that he loves this movie.
Yeah, the guy who brought us Ghost Keeper thinks that this movie is a thrill ride.
oh boy, this movie is a thrill ride. I'm not going to say it isn't, but great. I don't know about that. Wasted on us, dude. Come on.
Everything's wasted on us.
Fair. Well, we are wasted on most things too.
Just a little less mom fucking, and the movie could have been bearable, and a lot less kitten fucking killing.
Yeah, the kitten one, that kind of sucked. So, then Bubby, he asked if Angel's going to come with him after they get kicked out, or after he gets kicked out. No. Goes back to the old cudgel, the old plastic wrap. And then we cut to him and Angel just staring at the skyline, at the horizon, where there's a couple of smokestacks burning off. And Angel's like, well, I mean, they were going to die anyway.
They were riddled with disease.
Yeah, she's going off on all the toxins that they had. And so whoever did it just really put them out of their misery.
Yeah, why not?
And Bubby's like,
that's a
oh,
lot quicker.
And then Bubby's like, oh, it's beautiful. And Angel's like, no, those smokestacks are poisoning the air.
Wait a minute.
Oh. But the air is poisoned? His mom wasn't lying? Anyhow, now we cut to Bubby hanging out with the singer from the band, and they're standing on different pieces of artwork with religious iconography on it.
Oh God. This is when the movie has a message.
Yeah, and
it's
he
like,
just
is the whole movie about this message?
It might be. And Candice is like, can we get the mom back in here?
Wait a minute. You're getting too highfalutin with your concept. Can we go back to him fucking his mom? So
because that I can wrap my mind around.
You could cling wrap your mind around it. So because it's just this idiot saying like, "Oh, you see these people? Yeah, they cling wrapped people." And you see these people, Bubby, they cling wrapped 100,000 people. And take a look at these people. They cling wrapped the first people for cling wrapping the second people. How hypocritical of them. And by the way, Bubby, don't cling wrap any more people. And he's like,
I sabbatical on that.
It's like, I don't do it. My other personality does it. He's like, okay.
Winks at the camera.
Yeah, wink. He's like, okay, nobody inside of that body cling wrap other people. And also, don't mention it to anybody because we don't want to break up the band. Not it's morally probably bad to kill people. We just don't want to break the band up.
Makes sense.
Oh, that guy was in the band?
Yeah, that was the lead singer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a cat.
Yeah.
So then we cut to a concert. It's standing room only. They're selling Bubby merch. They got the shirts. They got the collars. They got the
gas mask.
The gas masks. Yeah. Dude, Bubby has fucking made it. He is realizing his star power.
He's a huge star now.
Yeah. It's finally the star he was born to be. And so all the band comes out with cling wrap on their face, which I thought was classy.
It does look cool.
It does look cool. And it's quite the scene. Everybody's just losing their fucking mind. Somebody gets a big old blow-up doll with gigundo tits.
And they're like crowd surfing it around the room.
Yeah. And they dressed it up like his mom with a gas mask and everything. And so Bubby gets this, and he's like, oh, I know what to do with this. And he starts miming that he's fucking it. And then the band's music fades out. and organ music fades in, and he sees his angel in the face of the blow-up doll. Then we cut to him and Angel having relations, and then we cut to her having a kid, and I'm like, oh
man, side lip in this movie.
This what?
What's that?
Side lip.
Oh, there's no side lip to it. It's full on labia in your face.
Right in your face.
Well, we've seen his cock like repeatedly.
That's true.
So it's fair.
But nothing truly offensive till now.
Yeah. Now it's like
nothing is more disgusting than the female figure giving birth.
Yeah, that is pretty terrible. Having had to be in the other room while it happened.
Well, no, you mean you weren't behind
behind
the glass partition, cheering her on?
He was yelling, "Put it on the glass."
Yeah. I was under the glass table where it was taking place.
I don't know why that slayed me so hard.
No, C-section, both of them. This family head, that ain't coming out of there. So then they have more. Oh my God, we just fade out to them in the parents' like rec yard, but they've put plants up in it, and they have 2 kids that they're chasing around and playing with, and then we roll credits.
And there's a cat. The wife has a cat.
Oh, they have a cat. Yep. So Bubby gets a happy ending, Candice.
Yeah, he does.
How do you feel
sure
about
does.
that?
It was a movie message that if you're crazy, you just still have to. If you're lucky, you'll just find the right thing, and instead of going to an insane asylum or going to jail, you make a lot of money.
Just become a musician, exactly.
Yeah, just become a musician. It's that easy.
Crazy is relative.
I guess you've got that, right? Crazy is definitely relative. They push that a little.
Well, that relative made him crazy.
Your sexual partners are also relative.
Gross. No, and it's also sort of like he was kind of an innocent that wandered out into the world, right? And then the world kind of had its way with him, especially the animal. And
he is innocent, so whatever he's doing bad, you can't really blame him, right?
Yeah. So, you can blame him, but you can also acknowledge why.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as Leatherface.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Leatherface doesn't know.
What he's doing isn't evil because he was raised to believe that's just life.
Right. So that's Bad Boy Bubby.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, man. You know what? I had a great time. How about you?
I definitely laughed hard. That's for sure.
Good. See, there's enjoyment to be had here. Tim, what about you? You holding up, buddy?
I don't know. I enjoyed the movie. It did seem at some parts it did seem to drag a little bit. And if you can get past those 2, I guess I don't know. Would you call them major themes of the fucking movie or minor themes of the movie?
Major.
Minor chord and the major lift.
And he is the baffled king.
It's just like I said, I just don't like movies that do that with animals.
Yeah,
it's just like it's a cheap, and this is a good enough movie that it could have stood it by itself. Where the thing with the cat with the punks at the end could have been implied. We didn't need to see it. We didn't need to see the fucking cat wrapped up in saran wrap and him like bobbing up in the head up and down and all that shit. So I think the movie was strong enough to stand by itself without doing that. But like I said, it's just a cheap way of getting everybody to be like, oh, look how fucked up that guy is. Well, I said, he's fucking his mother, okay? We know the guy's fucked up.
There were elements of the movie that were way better than they had any right to be, for sure.
Mm-hmm. It was competently made.
And that's the part I struggle with so much, because obviously there's a lot of things I had a real hard time with, but this is a very well-made movie. And
God damn you, Asher.
And at times it's very funny.
Yeah.
But like I said at the top of this show, and then you find yourself you start judging inward that you laughed at something. Because you're spending the rest of this time being rather repulsed by a lot of things. It's a pretty fascinating experience, honestly.
It's almost like putting this podcast into a movie form. Like, you find yourself laughing at some shit you really should not be.
Oh yeah, it's pure Bloody Bits horror show. It's honestly,
like our
a great joke. Pick for this show specifically.
Yeah, like the Eric Clapton joke, Tim. Oh my god,
that was a classic.
Reminded me of that one. That's
Masks
good.
in Heaven.
Oh God. So hey Bobby, thank you so much for joining us for this one. Is there anything you think people should pay attention to on the internet?
Well, for anyone who doesn't know, my home turf is the Grindbin podcast. And you're about to hear just about everybody on the Bloody Bits horror show soon.
Yeah.
Specifically at the time of this recording, Eddie is about to come back on next week.
That's
so he's joining us for a Halloween episode, which has become an annual tradition of bringing Eddie on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind saying so now because we talked about it. No, not incest. A few weird moments, but because Eddie's going to be joining us for I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle.
What?
Which go ahead and look that trailer up. You're going to be surprised at what comes floating up in that trailer.
Good. Yeah, just from the trailer. I haven't watched it yet, but I've watched the trailer. Oh my god. Yeah. Insanity.
It's going to be a fun time. So follow Eddie over to our side of the street and check that out.
Yeah. Yep. You can always get a hold of them. Check out the Grindbin podcast. What is patreon.com/Grindbin if you want to get access to their minis. You guys just had a tremendous mini come out, by the way.
We did.
Yeah. In the fucking Unsolved Mysteries guys making a Christmas holiday party. That was insanity. Insanity. So what about you, Tim? Anything you want people to pay attention to on the internet?
Well, definitely pay attention to us. Pay attention to Daniel's podcast, right? Mustache Show podcast.
Of course, yes.
And I think by the time this is coming out, Eddie, is that episode that you and I, Bobby, on the Grindbin, is that going to already drop or not yet?
At the time of this coming out, it should. At this time of recording, it should come out next week.
You want to say what it is that we recorded?
Absolutely. Tim joined us to finally bring to our show the oft-mentioned George Romero classic Night Riders.
Which cut?
Well, there's really just one. But
I
thought there was
30,
like a
2 hour and 32 minute one.
I thought there was like a 4-hour one.
There isn't, but apparently George Romero claimed there was a 17-hour one.
Yeah,
but we went over 3 hours talking about it, and it's a unique episode of the bin though, because
it's not what you expect.
No, we get a lot of the yucks, but then we start having some real conversations, and it got emotional.
Get Edible Tim on the show.
Oh God, I hope the show doesn't get too woke.
Oh, don't worry about that. But it's a really interesting episode of the Grindbin and a really fun one and an endearing one, I say. But
awesome. A very special episode of the Grindbin.
I can't wait.
He joins us for a very special episode of the Grindbin, like that time when the Different Strokes kids went to the bike shop.
Oh, yeah. Like the time Bubby
fucked up.
I like the time Bubby fucked his mom. So Candice, what about you? Anything you want people to pay attention to on the internet?
Oh man, I've made so many appearances. Everything I learned from movies. We did The Stuff. That should be coming out pretty soon. And then also I was on the Grindbin recently, and that episode should be coming out sometime.
I loved that episode.
We did
too.
Madman. It was a very good episode.
It's such a good movie. I fucking love that movie. Every time
you're gonna like that episode.
Okay.
Man, when he's doing that fucking yoga pose and he hears the Coca-Cola jingle in his head, I love that.
Yeah. Other than that, at Horror Hoochie 69 on all the socials.
Yep, at Yobo Gold for Tim. Yobo Bobby.
Oh, that's the other thing too, is I forgot the new hockey game came out and they're letting me use the Bloody Bits podcast as my name. So I'm getting us some guerrilla advertising. It's actually, I'm a little bit worried because it could backfire.
Yeah,
because if I kick some other team's ass and like, oh, Bloody Bits, let's go give them a 1-star fucking review and stuff like that. And on the other hand, too, is a lot of the people who play that game, I think that they would, Candice, when you said our podcast is woke, that's exactly what most people who play that game would think if they heard our show. So
Your buddy
change my name.
Spoochie and fucking Kinkos would have a problem with it. That's a good point. So you can check out the Bloody Bits podcast at patreon.com/Bloody Bits to get access to all of our bonus episodes, like the one on Barbarian that we just covered. Again, thank you, Bobby, for suggesting that movie.
Yeah, Bobby, holy shit.
Really enjoyed that episode.
Phenomenal movie. Thank you. And you can get access to the Blood Bank with over 3,000 cult, horror, and exploitation films,
including this one,
TV shows, including this one. Yep,
and not only that, but here's something I don't think you push enough, Eddie. Is if they become Patreon members, they can make. If the movie isn't in the Blood Bank, you can request it. And if you
get into the Discord and you don't annoy me, and you can message me, and I'll probably put a movie on there for you.
That's the key.
Probably, yeah. And what else do we have? Oh, you know what? Speaking of, we're about to triple the capacity of the blood bank. So it's about to get a lot bigger. Other than that, though, I think that's everything I have. Bobby, again, thank you so much for being on the show. And
my
thank
pleasure,
you for
guys. This was fun.
Your next appearance with AL Cats. So you get to talk Freddy's Nightmares.
Oh, I can't wait to annoy him.
I can't wait to have you on to annoy him. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, for Candice, Tim, and Bobby, this is how we end it. Good night.